Oi, oi. Happy Flatterday and welcome back to Flat Earth British. Double flat thumbs to infinity thrice. Tartaria, Tartaria. Oh, buckle in, guys. Buckle in. You're going to need to. Okay, we're in business. Literally, let me just check my comms in order. I don't seem to have any volume. Don't seem to have any. Yeah, because my computer volume was down. Anyway, good to see you guys. Double fat thumbs to infinity, like I said. We are going to have a fantastic night tonight, guys. There's a lot of absolutely mind-blowing information. I'm literally smashing it this week. It's been absolutely fantastic. Yes, we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that shortly. Is this Flat Earthers Got Talent, says Social Ripper? No, this is Flatterday for all of you juice-thirsty people. There is 145 of you just turned up for the juice, which you will be getting. Buckling. Now, let me just have a drink, orientate myself, come give you all shouts. It's been awesome speaking to you all in chat. It's been an awesome week. There's been loads happening this week on the realm in Flat Earth British. Loads to look forward to. Absolutely loads going on. One of which is Flat Earthers Got Talent. The Flat Earthers Talent Show, hosted by yours truly, Flat Earth British Martin. Now, I've been literally overwhelmed by this, okay? And I didn't think it would go like that, but a lot of videos have been sent to me. So what I'm going to say is this, because this is like a learning curve for myself. Excuse that phrase, a lesson in learning for myself. And there are going to be some parameters, I'm afraid. So I've had a lot of artworks sent in to me and poems as well. They're all lovely. We may have to have a separate talent show for that sort of thing, because this is going to be a sing-song. Okay. Don't really get goose pimples on a picture, but you know, it's lovely, but I don't think we're going to be doing that. So we're going to be having a sing song. Now, I've got maybe, and this is like getting like crazy good, you know, really talented people, including the people that will be sitting in on the event and non-judgy judges, because this is only going to be round one, because I'm only going to be able to fit maybe, I don't know, 10 contestants in this first one. And, you know, I've got like friends sending their kids, sending their songs in, guys, which are fantastic on piano. It's going to be fun. Okay. So it's going to be worth doing. So I'm going to have to run that over on the Tartarian channel, though, and I will make sure everybody is directed over to the Celtic Tartarian channel, because this one's on a community strike. And I'm sure if I'm blasting out all sorts of potentially copyrightable material, I'll just lose this channel. So I will have to be on one that's only carrying one strike, which is the Celtic Tartarian channel for the time being, because this one's on a strike for 3 months. Okay. Now, what I would advise is for just this round, which this heat, okay, of talented and beautiful people will have to be held on either Monday or Tuesday coming, because I'm going to be busy the rest of the week with other shows and other stuff happening. Okay, so if you are going to be sending a song that you hope to be presented in that show, the first of what could become, you know, really, really popular, because nothing like this has happened before. I think by midnight, Sunday night, tomorrow night, UK time would be a good time to have the last ones in for the first heat. But keep sending them in, because I can collect them. But I'm literally snowed under. I'm hoping I don't miss anyone, and it's getting a bit like, whew. Okay, so that'll be this week. So make sure to keep a lookout for that. Now, context of this post. Okay, now the context of this post may make some people feel a little uneasy, I guess, but not really. To me, it was really comforting, funnily enough. But to some, it might not be. Okay, so I'm going to make some startling, you could say, conclusions in this post, but you're happy for you to make your own conclusions and add them to the comment section as to what you think is going on. And this is the premise. Now, in Tartaria, we find these unusual mysteries that we are trying to solve. Now, What I have found is myself, Lee, as well. I think we know, but it's uncomprehendable to myself. I'm sort of on the tip of my tongue, but I sort of got a fear that if I say it, that I will break the world, and that would be maybe not good. So I'm just like trying to get to grasps with what I've already learned and what we have already learned, which I'm going to share with you tonight. Okay. It's not for the faint-hearted, and this is for the deep red pillars. Okay, guys, not the purple pillars will not be able to really understand this. They will wither. They will wither at this information. Okay. Now, what we find in Tartaria, okay, or what we find in the past is the dead are missing. The dead are missing. Okay. Now, another thing that I'll say before I start my narrative tonight is try to forget about the given official narrative. That's going to help you a lot in what I'm about to explain to you. Now, what we find is there are no graves for the common man and woman in old cemeteries. They turn up, maybe you get the odd cemetery with a grave from maybe 1600s outside up in Edinburgh, some with 1700s graves in other cemeteries, old cemeteries. But mostly you'll find, if you walk around any churchyard, that the graves are always around the 1800s, right? Like no one was here before. So what you find is that nobody was actually, what we found in our old depictions out of the Gallica, for example, old churches don't have churchyards. Nobody's buried in churchyards. The only people that are apparently buried are in really thick stone esophagus, and they are inside the church machines, and they are elites. Apparently saints, apparently knights, noblemen, not the common man or woman. They're missing. They're missing. They're dead. There should have been trillions that have gone before us. And what is our evidence when we look into it is in the mid-1800s, the cities are empty. The photographic record shows cities of 1 million people empty. Where are all the population? There's no toilets in Tartaria. Why would you have the Versailles with all of them umpteen rooms and not have anywhere to go to the toilet? Or in the massive Tartarian buildings that you witness in all of the cities of this world, and you had to go to the end of the garden to use the Kazi in the past, in an old wooden shack with superior architecture just behind you. So there's something going on with that. A greater mystery. Were they Breatharians? I even wondered if they were ghosts or even fish people. Loads of things we have wondered as why they didn't need the toilet. So there have been trillions that have gone before us. Now, either they're deep down below our feet in the mud, and all of their bones compressed, releasing piezoelectric forces which cause the cycle of lightning. Remember, it's a mystery. The lightning starts from the ground, not the sky, and a circuit is completed. They're saying it's on their globe mechanics of geo, but that is not what's happening, obviously. So there's something else going on because this place is electromagnetic, and it acts. So I'm going to run a narrative with you, okay? And it's best for me to just explain and go deep into it in the intro, but other stuff you can expect to hear and behold in my Flat Earth British vlog tonight is Phoenicians, they were blind. I think they were blind, and I think they were 3D mapping. I'll give you the evidence for that later. We got loads of Tartaria. We're looking into the Penn Hotel in New York City. We're looking into Angkor Wat, the first photographs ever found. We're looking into the Orphans. And we'll have a little think about the Orphans and the Incubators, but in the narrative of the first bit that I mentioned. Old Delhi, my picks of the week, 1,000 things. I got a conference coming up at the end of the year, and we're going to have Flat Earthers Got Talent this week. I'm going to pull all this off. Some of you are going to help me because I enlisted some of your help. So I'm going to be sending links out probably Monday night, GMT. Expect the link, and then you can be able to join the show. So that is people like Rich over on Treehouse and Ceiling Fan Man if he's up. Ray, you're always invited, my brother, and all the rest of you. We'll see who turns up. It'll make it a fantastic day anyway. It's fun. for the community, and I think it'd be a good thing. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, reality is fake. It's fake. It's fake as shit. I don't even know what to think of it anymore. The food is crap. The food is shit. I can't even get any decent food anymore. To find something wholesome and nutritious seems to be really, really difficult these days. That wasn't around in the past. In fact, a lot of the stuff that was happening in the past no longer exists anymore, I noticed, including the people. I mean, all the people of my previous incarnation, if you like, of Martin, have gone. They're all dead. They're all gone. And my educated guess as well, I would say, is the sky's falling in. Them planetary alignments are too bright, and I've been around for 55 years. I've seen 2 planetary alignments in the last 3 years, and they've been fantastic. Never seen them before in my life. Betelgeuse, the middle star in the belt of Orion, looks super, super duper close. It's never looked that close. Venus is never where it's supposed to be. It used to be the morning star. It used to be low in the morning sky or low in the evening sky, and now it's where the fuck whatever it is, and it looks like a camera looking down or some sort of projector. That wasn't there in the past. And the sun is super duper massive white thing, used to be a beautiful warm yellow thing. And there's no mistaking that, you know, the most things in this place, or if not all of it, is artificial, including the weather, which is their next narrative, isn't it? Because everything is going super duper weird with the weather. Now, I'm going to give you a few of you shouts, and then I'm going to dive straight into what will be a narrative for you to absorb. Okay, make your own conclusions, as I said. I'm going to give you mine. As sinister and weird and insidious as it sounds, I think it might be the case. Okay, what are you saying there, Big Kush, my brother? Venus and Jupiter, western sky after sunset, just over by there, and they are really prominent. They're super duper bright, guys. It's never been that bright, and the sky looks definitely closer. In my mind, it looks closer than it used to be. Make of it what you will. That's just my own personal observation. You know, Miss Honeybee, love to see you. Honeybee, jolly man, and our lovely Valerie Parks. So let me have a little drink. Calm my ass down a bit. So we had an epic week this week, and I've had, as you've seen maybe on my last post, Tasheth and Bexeth come to visit me at Flat Earth British Hub. Yes, I know, lucky me. With Nos Cofundum. Now I'm going to have a little look at this and some of the images of this idea of what we've been talking about for, I don't know, years and years, is other lands. And this was what I was thinking. So in Nos Cofundum, they say about these other domes outside, one of them full of, I don't know, sentient beings. Maybe that's where the tech's coming from, and Thoth, another world, and all of these different ponds, if you like, domed possibly outside of this, which we seem to be feeling that we're the center of it all, so that we're probably the center dome, if you like. So it occurred to me this: if they're there and that's the case, then we should be able in some way to communicate with them. So I was thinking, you know, when I was young, I used to have CB radios in my bedroom, and I used to be like a 14-year-old talking to truck drivers in Alaska. It was fantastic. I thought it was the greatest innovation in the history of man. I thought, this is fantastic, such a buzz. This is why I enjoy this medium so much. It's just like radio, isn't it? So it occurred to me that if I could reach that distance with the radio, then why aren't we able to reach outside of, say, the Antarctica ice ring with radio signals? I thought maybe you need a bigger signal. Maybe that's what the radio telescopes were doing, because they're not going into space, sending signals to quasars. I can assure you of that. But what I'm thinking they're doing is maybe they were listening to into the other ponds by banging a radio wave off of the dome back down to further out, and they would need a disc or a radio telescope like Jodrell Bank that big to be able to carry out some sort of listening operation or even communication operation with further ponds away. Would it be possible to remote view these other places? They're there. The psychics must be able to see it. see these other places, these other realms. They must be able to. And as I've mentioned before, there are parameters to my remote viewing abilities. Like I can't fly too high, I can't go too fast, and I can't go too far. And I don't know, I just feel like that's deliberate. I feel like I'm being locked down in that. Unless it's me locking myself down, I'm not really sure. So we should be able to get some sort of communique going with them outside, I feel. So I'm going to put that out there right now. That is my intent, is to make some sort of communication with whoever they are outside of here. And I'm going to send out a ... Maybe that's why Morse code was invented. ... Save our souls, SOS, out from this this vessel. Okay, lost at sea, to other ponds and other places unknown to us, hidden by the elites. Okay, to save our souls. And something else I'm going to talk about in this post is going to be to do with souls. It's going to be to do with us, the awakening, and why it's so difficult for some people not to see the obvious truths. Why is it that, you know, some people will never be woke? You ever wondered about that? Can you really put it down to black magic, hypnosis, mind control, trauma-based mind control, predictive programming, and all the rest? Or is there something deeper going on? Okay. Well, let's have a think about all of that. There's 1,000,001 things for you to chew over in this post, guys. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. If you would, please share this video out, get a more diverse audience over, get some new peeps over, so they, when they're sat in on Flatterday, picking their nose, picking the fluff out of their belly buttons, or whatever they do on a Flatterday night, they can come over here, feel the love, feel the excitement, and feel the fantasticness that is Flat Earth British Flatterday night. So what's that powered toast? Over 400 people, only 700 likes. Give them a chance. I haven't actually done anything yet. I'm all right. Likes don't even matter on the algorithm, but I do like to have them. Okay. So it's all good. It all helps on the YouTube thing. So King Schnurgelgerson. So yeah, I've been to the boat this week as well. My son's ship and do some boat work. And I did have a GoFundMe for a boat, but they refunded everybody and told me nothing, and the site's to shit. So I'm guessing that they didn't want me to have a boat somewhere along the line. Psilocybin can guide you. Well, yeah, that's the whole point, Max. So I'm going to need to retweak myself to get me to places so I can, you know, with my fresh intent, knowing more than I did the last time. That would help no end. Indeed, indeed. Let the universe send us. Dr. E. Vales. I used to skip Michigan and California, 300 watts. Not sure what that context is. Hi, Joe, my lovely Joe. Is London man, my brother in London town. Marty and friends. At the moment, be over shortly. Cool. So 16 Alpha, good to see you again. Welcome back. Brian Evans, who's Welsh like myself. What a dad, Brian. And vibes. And we're going to be getting stuck straight in. This hippie shake. She's the... she's head honcho moderator. And Burn Eye, Hindu 3-eye science guy. That's good. I like that. Okay, Matt Trump with his lovely dog Fender. Woof Fender. Alva Billy, who's my brother, Ski, and Darren. We'll say hi to Honeybee. Okay, so it's been a fantastic week. It's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun to come this week. We're going to mix it up. We're going to just make it all happen. If we don't make it happen, nobody's going to make it happen. It will be a nothing happening, which would be poo. And I don't do that. Much love, Romany Bear. Enoch Hayes, good to see you. I miss Honeybee. She's driving me crazy. I'm in love with me, maybe. Won't you please come home? Kieran Phillips, shroomy. Okay, that should have worked. There's enough shroomies there. I need big magic. I do. I need a big magic to get them. Okay, Wantania. Good to see you, my friend. Okay, let's get stuck straight in. And I'll come back very soon to give you all a few shouts, hang out with you all for a bit and find out what's going on. Now, and more information on Effie's Got Talent, because this is something that everyone is really excited about. I'm thinking that the first round will be so good that we're just going to expand upon it. We'll get more rounds, heats, if you like, to bring the love and show people the talents that you got out there. I had a video, you know, Bex that was at my house the other day. Fantastic singer. I got a video of her. She sent singing Amy Winehouse. We all have a bit of Amy, don't we? So they didn't though. Right, let's get stuck in. Too I was gonna say chavvy, but too real, I reckon. Okay, let's get stuck in. Please, if you would share this video out. I know I said three pleases then, and that sort of magic spell should do that. Please. There you are. Okay. Now, Westworld. We've all seen this film, haven't we? Yul Brynner. There he is when he had my hair on his head. Now, what we find is, I think this, okay, this is a mixture of all of your comments, all of your thoughts as well. So all of my thinking here is the Flat Earth British think tank's thinking, okay? All of us. So reality is fake, okay? Now, Hollywood and Disney and NASA are just pre-programming our awakening from early on. They knew all of this was going to happen. The stage would be up now, and they probably know, you know, where the outcome will probably lay in them not being around anymore or them not here. So it's their last failed attempt. Hollywood's dead. Nobody gives a shit anymore for them. Are they even real? Do they even exist? What about superstars, guys? Do they exist? What about the super rich? You ever seen any? Where do they fly? What roads did they use? Where did they shop? Nobody ever sees them. Nobody ever knows them. And if you ever see any of them, they're on what? A TED Talk. That could be holographic. They got holographics like you wouldn't even believe. Look exactly like him there, Yul Brynner. So imagine that was actually the case then, guys, that they'd put us in a Westworld. Just one of the Westworlds, maybe many of them in different domes. What if when you see all of that smashed Greco-Romano architecture, like the Colosseum, is because that was Rome world? Exactly like they tell you in the film, Westworld. And what you find is this. With the Great British population and the world's population, they're all pretty much the same, I would say. But you find this is people, okay, as long as you give them what they want, okay, they won't want anything different. They're quite happy with their lot. I mean, if the shit fits, wear it. They don't seek anymore. They don't want anymore. So they're quite happy to surrender their life to another's cause. And this is the agenda which they are going, is this automation agenda, okay, this transhumanization agenda and the other gender agenda, which is all very ridiculous and it's going to be short-lived. I can assure you of that, okay, short-lived. So what you find is with people, they are happy to just go to work for their slave masters, hating their job, getting very little money. Okay, maybe one job after another, maybe never finding their way. And their whole life and their whole purpose will be just to march to work. Every man with his own individual little task, not knowing what the other man's doing and not really caring what the other man's doing, as long as he can get home for his tea and his flagon of cider. And as long as he can watch the football Saturday with the boys, have a game of darts, get drunk, and they literally, this is how they gauge their quality of life on a Monday morning in work. Oh, I got piss paralytic Saturday night. I was ill right the way through till this morning. Oh, great. Well done on you with the blood poisoning. That is the best part of their existence. They're quite happy to, like drones, do this for their entire existence. But check the punchline, guys. Yeah. So if they are the very few that get to retirement and actually get to be able to enjoy maybe 5, 10 years, little more, if you're exceptionally lucky, comfortably, with no ailments, nothing going wrong, nothing falling off, and with all of your marbles. Because most of us, in this place, apparently, will end up fucked in a hospital bed without your marbles, shitting yourself, like literally. For most of us. Now, I've witnessed this, and I know this is the case. And to me, I'm thinking that needn't be so. That needn't be so. Why is it that we have all got to surrender our life to all doing the little jobs for the man? Half of them don't even need doing. They got free energy, for fuck's sake. So the energy, what you're witnessing here is just a psyop. And the promise of salvation. This is what everybody wants. Every single generation, if you like, has been obsessed with the end times. The times that they instinctively knew was a spiritual ascension when lots wouldn't actually make it and would be left behind. And the promise of, for some, like the people with religion, the kingdom of heaven awaits, which is all the glorious things that you want. So that's ganja, honeys, cool music, and all of the things you'd want in heaven. Yeah. So that is what people want. They will slave. They will give up their lives for an invisible who even knows what. Like, really, who even knows what? There is something here, and I can feel it, and I can't put I can't put it into words, into a context that I would like to be able to tell you what I'm experiencing and feeling. And what it isn't a big, aggressive, psychopathic, bearded bloke who lives in the sky who wants to kill us all at a whim. What you find with people as well is they're quite happy to act the robot, aren't they? The robot dance. They're quite happy to act as a zombie. It's almost as if there's Tweaky and his girlfriend. I'm not sure what Tweaky is actually doing there, whether robots actually get that excited publicly. It's hard to even say. Anyway, that's Tweaky. So you probably don't even remember. That's from Buck Rogers, if anybody doesn't know what Tweaky is. Hi, Buck. The dead is a con. It has to be. The numbers are just not tallying. Nothing is tallying up. It's so creepy. It's beyond words. The reality is fake. They give us space. They give us the spinning ball idea. They give us that there's nowhere else except, space to go if this place goes to shit. And then they give us deities, invisible things to put all of our intent and faith into. Are they going to save us? Or is it us that's going to save us? Well, I tell you what I think, guys. I think we may need a little bit of outside help, but not what they're saying. I'm thinking outside help from these other lands. They must know what's going on, and they must know, hey, the people in the other ponds, they're getting to know where they are. So they're working out the show. They're working out the show. They know that they're in like a play, if you like. So cemeteries, they have not been around for that long in this form. You know, they had the narrative when they're in London, for example, where they had overcrowded cemeteries, and they say because of the cholera dead, and they opened places like Newgate Cemetery. But again, the graves do not go back further in time. What you see here is famous earthquake and the Valparaiso earthquake in Chile, which was a major earthquake. I've covered it on the Celtic Tartarian channel anyway. But all of the graves and the crypts, etc., are all subsided and liquefied. So what is the difference between a esophagus and a sarcophagus, I wonder? The veil, which you mentioned as some sort of technology, but she's got some sort of laurel leaf of control on her head as well. So definitely the Phoenician thing going on. So death is the narrative. That's the definer of life. This is why we, experience so much and love so much and everything so much, is because you feel that if you don't get it all in now, you won't be able to, because you'll be dead. Dead drives everything. Apparently gives it all more meaning. Well, I protesteth. I say that there is more, and I say that it's all bollocks, is what I say. So death is the narrative that is not supported by the evidence. 2 million people die every month worldwide. Actually, the estimates are more like 60 million per year worldwide. UK deaths, around 750,000 deaths a year in Britain. What? They say. So thousands are supposedly dying, okay, in your cities every single year. So we should be witnessing dozens and dozens of funerals every single day. Are we witnessing dozens of funerals every day, guys? One of my comments, somebody in California on this very subject stating that thousands every single month die in California. And what you do not see is any funerals. Tens of thousands of people in the UK died in the last 2 years because of apparently you know what. Now, I was out with my son. He's my witness. Lawrence is in the chat right now. Every single day through lockdown, and more than once a day. And I can guarantee you, I never seen one funeral. And I live a mile from a major city cemetery, Western Cemetery in Cardiff. And it's massive. And I never seen a funeral. We only seen 2 funerals over those 2 years. And they were both Muslim funerals with hardly any people in cars behind them. Got me thinking about mortgages. The apparent reason in the official narrative is in case the dead inside decide to turn into a vampire or decide to turn into a werewolf and leave the coffin. Okay, right. Well, that just sounds like it's a bit like fanciful. I don't think that's going on. So I never seen one funeral with the whole of vid. Not one, guys. Did any of you? So they can't be that good at hiding death, can they? There was millions apparently died in the last 2 years worldwide because of what happened. Did anybody witness any of these thousands of funerals? Did anybody? See, the numbers are just not adding up, guys. Clearly, they're not adding up. We should be seeing death every day we look, yet we never see any evidence of it, guys. Now, why would that be? Now, one conclusion could be is if you were an NCP or a hologram or a bot or an android, you don't need a funeral. There is only a few souls in you, guys, and this is why there's only limited graves, because there are only a few of us here. Can it really be that people, blood and flesh meat bags, guys, but maybe without any soul, literally live their entire lives not knowing that they're just filler inners for the rest of us? Could that really be the case? Because the dead are missing, and there's this system here, as you see, niche system of burial in the old world here, 1899, where they just put them in walls. No such thing as graves. People are put in vaults, thick, some of them, like thick tombs for some reason. Why would that be? Why exactly would they be keeping them in these vaults? Is this some sort of later on they're expecting to rise? Like resurgence? Because Nostradamus actually stated in his quatrains that the dead will rise in the games of the London Olympics, basically, is what he mentioned. NCPs. Now, the place has got repopulated. So we got the empty cities, 1840s, 1850s. The cities all look destroyed, kind of 1860s. Narratives to cover that story, American Civil War. Taken out of, or putting right, a later mud floods. The narrative is reclamation of land and building it all back up after the destruction of, like, General Sherman, for example. So tens of thousands, 30,000 in one train trip, and other thousands, and seemingly most populations in the late 1800s are born into orphan asylums. And it is a common place for tons of people, children, to just be brought up in asylums, or what they call orphanages. We know, we've seen how many films, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Annie, you know, there's so many, just telling you the narrative of there are so many. So where are their parents? Well, maybe they necessarily don't have any parents. With the incubator babies, what if, now these are all looking very samey. Artificial insemination, did it really come out in the 60s and 70s, or did they manage it a bit earlier on? Well, I'm thinking they managed cloning, artificial insemination way early on, even splicing the genome, if you want to call it that. But cross hybridization, if you like, I think they were doing. So the infants, we know that the incredible, mind-blowing capabilities of the incubators and the growth patterns of these children is insane. You can make an adult apparently in no time at all, never having anything to do with the bonding of another human being. Very weird and cruel. Children's life section there. No parents. These people, I'm not saying they're evil, I'm just saying that this is an ongoing population program for the whole realm. Like all of these nurses, she's looking, somebody brought to my attention in the comments that she's looking like she's not really into it. Actresses maybe, but all of these babies, guys. And then, so these people here, who are they? Where did they turn up from? Well, they're the original arrivals after the reset, the major reset early in 1800s has to be. And these babies, incubator babies, they come along late 1800s to populate the world that we see today. How many of us, I was born in what was a workhouse. Many, many British people around my age were born in places, hospitals, that used to be asylums for the orphans. Every single city had them, and they were the biggest buildings in the cities. Biggest buildings. And how cruel, no love, no one to hold them or comfort them, coach them. It's really quite sad. It is really heartbreaking. Little tiny little babies there, no parents. Who's giving birth to them? Forget that program in Nazi Germany where they made people have babies of of Aryan origin before, that program. This is something completely different. This is a program of repopulation, of probably artificial insemination, unless they got someone, a horny dude in to repopulate the world. You'd be wicked. I could put my hands up for that job. This is a really unusual bit of headwear there. I've not seen these pointy hats before. But it's an awful sad story, and so many of them as well. They petered out. There was orphanages still around in the 60s. Ely Hospital near me, that was turned into a mental asylum then. And later on, a lot of them turned into mental asylums. There's a connection there as well. So get these children, they get up a little bit bigger, and then you've got no parents, got no outside influence, and from only the teacher. So they get them into one-room schoolrooms for indoctrination. So it's dinosaurs, it's globes, it's evolution, okay, for these kids. And they got no other frame of reference. They got no one else to ask. And even if they go and try and find it out for themselves, because one of them's a genius, got analytic mind, he's not going to be able to find any reference point because it's all controlled information. That's how they did it. You don't believe the Earth's flat, Johnny? No, the teacher told me that it's a globe, but it's flat. Lovely. Don't listen. So Orphanage Asylum, commonplace. So what I'm trying to say is there's two generations involved here. So you've got the incubator babies and the orphan children. and you know, not necessarily, you know, millions and millions of parents being executed. And if they did, these kids are not mentioning it. I don't know. They haven't seemed to have the trauma of watching their parents being executed. More than likely, there are similarities with them all as well. They're dressed the same, pretty much in a lot of cases, look very, very similar, which you find with families anyway. I noticed there are families replicated in every British city. They are. You get the Nesbits in everywhere. You can have the Manchester Nesbits. I'm saying that they're replicated, all of these families. They look the same. I recognize families from my city in other cities. And like, you look like the Murphys, something like that. There's not that many templates for these families, these people. So could that be the case then, guys? Do these ones sure have they got souls? They look like they got souls to me, guys. They look like they got souls. But these people, after just exposed themselves 2 years ago, because that was a special kind of stupid on their part, and they shot the rest of us and didn't care a damn about the rest of us, which was a shock, hurtful, really. But not really now, because now I feel that they were incapable of having any empathy, because that is what a human is, isn't it? We're full of empathy, love, feeling, and what you see in a lot of people's eyes is gimme, me, and greed, and a big wide eyes of no feeling and not really giving a shit, and would stamp on anyone to make a buck, is what you find with most of the population. They're all defined by vanity, what the Joneses got. That's a big one. Yeah, blokes have literally been driven to the grave by their wives to keep up with the Joneses across the road. This insane way of carrying out a realm. So these all grew up, and they could be old enough now to be our great-grandmothers. And they grew up in one-room schoolhouses. So animal experimentation there. 24 cats proved iron lung could save children. So that's in the early days of the iron lung. So you wouldn't be able to take an iron lung to school, would you? You know. And apparently radium therapy for children. And this made me remember something that they did to us in school. They really didn't like at the time. When we were in infant school, which I guess is around maybe 7 years old, something like that, guys, we used to have like gymnasium, what you call in America, PE, in the hall. And they used to make us strip off into our underpants, and the girls into just their underwear, nothing on top. And we all used to have to do like skip rope and climb the climbing frames. And I never liked it. And I remember the girls didn't like it. I remember none of us really liked doing that. And I thought it was really sinister looking back. I only just remembered it when I seen that photograph. I thought, fuck me, they did that to us. They made us just do all like acrobatics and stuff and climbing frames and all that in our underpants as little kids. You know, that's something going on with that. That seems fucking wrong to me. And now we didn't like it, so why would they do it? Now everybody go to sleep. What? They used to say that to me. I was hyperactive, guys. So this is a nurse using ultraviolet lamp to stencil initials into the baby's skin. So that's a bit like, she's branded. That baby doesn't seem to be happy about that. The mother's smiling because she's not the one being ultraviolet lamp branded, is she? It's completely painless. Why is she screaming? It's completely painless. And there they are, the one-room schoolrooms. I'm sure this woman here is a complete and utter genius. I suppose she's going to be like all of her pent-up aggressions and weird sexual fuckeries going on in her head. It's going to be all spewed out into torturing in a narcissistic nature, then poor children. Okay. And they used to keep, that's another part of it as well, I was thinking, because the old schools, they used to have entrances for boys and entrances for girls, and they were all kept separate. They don't do that now. The kids in my local school, my son's high school where he used to go to, they're all in protest at the moment and walking out because they've introduced a mixed toilet there, and boys are going in there and saying, no, this is no good. This is no good. And they're walking out. So there's been pure trouble in my local high school where my son used to go to, Glyndero, or whatever it's called now. So it's all, it's a gender thing, isn't it? Fisher them. Yeah, that can, I know I'm not supposed to swear, but all of that can just fuck off is what it can do. Nobody's going to be putting up with that. There's a lot of men in this place now. We just ain't going to be putting up with that. I can tell you that for nothing. So there they are, the poor mites. It is pretty heartbreaking. And, you know, left to just these people, I'm sure like there was one or two caring, but I don't know. My partner grew up in care, and she said the nurses were motherfuckers. She said they were, the nuns were motherfuckers. I said, well, none of them were nice. There was one that was okay, but no. She said they were all weird and nutty. Oh, fucking great. I'm supposed to be of Jesus. Wow. They were introduced. That's the last batch, this one. They were great-grandparents. There's been no batches since. There's been no batches since. Should be. I'm looking at the consistency of batches, and now there's like some sort of stop in batches, and like no reset happened after Agenda 20. We've just whizzed past it, didn't we? Didn't we? Anyway. So say, for example, that all of those children were from a place that is beyond that wall. In other lands. Why not? Why not? They're all populated with humanoids, according to the Nosca Fundum, which is really tantalizing, but it really does. One of my comments, somebody said, my friend Laura said, is this the Iron Republic? And I'm like, shit, it really, really sounds like the Iron Republic, almost as if the Iron Republic had a rewrite, because it really is the same story. So yeah, it's like the Iron Republic that was in the Miami Post. It's like story of all of these different realms outside of the Ice War, and there is a way through there. So we should be able to send communicate. If they were only that far away, right, we should have been able to, if they're not in a separate dome blocking the signal, we should be able to radio them. We should be able to provide a frequency. There should be a way to communicate with them outside. I'm thinking, and the more I think it, the more I'm thinking it, if you know what I mean. There seems to be thaws in it sometimes. There's another thing that gets me. Is this is supposed to be Antarctica? So what is all of the grey clouds? Looks a bit happy there, the waveform. So what produces all of the clouds in Antarctica then? Is it all of the vegetation evaporating off? What exactly, where is the clouds? You know, how's that even working? So that is supposed to be 60,000 miles in circumference, according to Captain Cook. Hardly any ways in. So it's an impenetrable ice wall. We are all, our oceans are all below that. So we're in a sort of lake with high walls all the way around, containing the water in. So, you know, when globe people ask, why doesn't the water run off the edge then? You can say to them, because this contains the water. Water will always find its own natural level, and it needs to be contained. So Nosca Fundum. Okay, so there's all that, you know, the moving island. And I've mentioned moving islands at Thoth. So this Thoth is, you know, the Hermetics again, isn't it? So where would the Phoenicians be from? Around here, maybe. Oh, from the depths. Maybe that's why they were blind. You don't need to see in the depths. So all of that elsewhere and more outside. And we're not even that far away. And if I'm there and I can reach Alaska, I should be able to reach these lands here using a conventional ham. And I can't. There must be a way, a frequency. There must be a way of maybe even consciously telling them in your psyche that I want to make a connection. I want to communicate with you. And then make a communication. I'm sure that they're light years ahead of us in spirituality in some of these places. Ascended masters in many of them, I should imagine. Maybe some of them are just Stupidsville, who even knows. But I really do feel like, you know, Gulliver's Travels, Lilliput, you know, big people on one land and little people on the other, you know, it is a thing. I think that's the case, you know, just like Gulliver's Travels. And maybe we're the little people. And there was bigger people. And they're gone. And maybe there was littler than us. We've all seen the film The Borrowers. Yeah? Littler than us. the 3 Shangri-La Islands. And there's our little bit in the middle. It's 100% about moorland. That's all it's about, is moorland. I know this is the case. And look at the height of this seawall, this ice wall. So I hear that the treaty's coming to an end in the near future. That's going to be interesting. And another thing is they don't actually state who the treaty is with. I mean, it's not with one another. It's not like Norway and England have signed a treaty with one another. It's a treaty with a third party. They've all signed a treaty. You know what you get treaties for? Like the treaties of Versailles. It's divvying up. It's divvying up land. It's taking stock. It's summing up is what it's doing. You're not allowed to walk across it. You're not allowed to go where you want. It's going to be a nightmare even if you want to get to there. And I don't trust anybody. And I've met a few people that tells me stories of Antarctica like they've been there and stuff. This is in the past. And I think it's bollocks, is what I think. But my communication, it has been sent psychically. So Phoenicians, now they came in here, we had a reset. And what you find with Phoenicia is they added this stuff, this unbelievably defined stuff, and an unbelievable amount of faces, Phoenician faces. Now, it could be because we have mentioned, you know, like the song Children of the Sea, which pretty much spells it all out, that we could be actually from the sea, if you like. And if they're the Phoenicians actually from the depths, because that does look very fish-like, if you like, and scales, but feathers are scales over the eyes because you can't see because it's too bright. Now, maybe because they're from the depths, it was too bright for them. Maybe this was the reason why they outed the other sun, which is now the moon, and made it bright, you know, dim enough for them to even see, but see through a visor that cuts down the light. And maybe they used music, excuse me, let's get back off these pictures, where they used music in the form of Antiquitech to cause a vibrational quality that bounced off buildings that would be able to be 3D mapped by a blind person. Because what you find is with the covering up of Tartaria, this is a beautiful little Tartarian building, this, but they had statues, they had ugly fire, and these, you know. So if you can imagine, if you had this acoustic technology, technasmia, bouncing off of these, it would be like Wi-Fi, the way Wi-Fi can 3D map your house. Remember, an outside source can know if you're in your bed or if you're in your bathroom using 3D mapping from your Wi-Fi signal in your house. So along them lines, and you know, they would be able to ping like a bat, no mistake. The FIVE towers are called bat towers, and you know, if you caused an acoustic frequency, a bit like echolocation, that would bounce off, and it would give you images, and they would literally be able to perceive these and see them, a bit like Neo sees the Matrix, a bit like that. You've got Bacchus here with the grapes. You know, he smashed it with the grapes. They've killed loads with the grapes since they introduced that little caper. These buildings, you know, strip them back, you often find in most cases they're brick underneath, and then they just cover them, and always on the top as well, like where you're never going to see them. This is why I think this was a thicker liquid solution, and you'd be able to float around, you know, like, look at this. Is there really any need for that door? Is it just for decoration? Or if you sent out an acoustic signal because you're blind, because you're a Phoenician, you could easily identify that door because it would bounce off all of them. Door. Maybe. You see what I mean with the Phoenicians? So they just stick themselves all over the buildings for whatever reasons. Hermes or Mercury, if you like, for a tittied Mercury. So is the nature of hermetics or hermaphrodites, as they know. And that's a beautiful little dome there, nice copper top on it. Don't know what's going on, but eagle, wings open, fully Phoenician. And the blank panels, always the information missing, but it's probably because they're mirrors, which is also a part of this narrative. So really spooky. It's like something, you know, it's like if you were tripping looking at them, you wouldn't feel comfortable. And I have seen this sort of thing in my psyche, these weird Phoenician faces, if you like. Seen them in puddles, in my jeans, and they're always like that. Weirdly, they're always like that. So how can that be in my psyche? I do not know. Before I learned about Phoenicia or Tartaria. Really, it's just the weirdest thing. So yeah, really unusual. Every city has got these Phoenicians, and you can pretty much identify them. I've seen that one many times. And this one's trying to tell us something. It's got the beehive upside down head on. And again, with Pan, with the pan pipe. So somebody wrote an interesting comment. So how many have we got watching? 837 of you. That's fantastic. If you would, please, 800 of you, you've got the opportunity. Could you share this out on Facebook or Twitter or whatever you can get it out? Just get a nice big gang of people over for the fun that is about to come. Okay. So yeah, Ray wrote a comment, picked it up a couple of days ago, and he said about the song by Barry Manilow. I write the songs. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. And Barry Manifold, as I like to call him, Barry Manifold, said that this song had a deeper meaning, and it meant that all of the songs had been written by Lucifer, Pan, Bacchus, and that it was a demon that actually lived in the music. And if you just really listen to the music, all of it, as we mentioned with the Phoenicians and the music in my last post, then you will find that the devil's in the music. And David Bowie, I remember him saying, I think it was on Dick Cavett, and he said, oh, no. And he was quite adamant on it as well. He went, oh, no. He said, the rock and roll music is of the devil. My middle name is Misery. I'm evil, so don't you mess around with me. I think Elvis was telling us something there with that track, don't you guys? So I think that is the case. I really do think that is the case. I'm like got big crises with my music. I like techno and stuff like that, and drum and bass, because there's no lyrical content with it, and you know, some of it is like organic, and it's not really replicating old scores. So I tend to listen to that quite a bit, or some of that camel music you get on YouTube, you know, shaman dub and stuff like that. You know, I like my reggae pumping away in the background. And always the same replicated ornamentation. You get these big, you know, it's weird. Like, this is supposed to be a form of vegetation. You can't really identify what it is. And then you've got what? Big steel clips holding on. You really need steel clips for some vegetation, or is it supposed to be like a cable? Because everything with Phoenicia looks like it's a technology. You see the things they have over their ears, this thing on their head, you know, over the mind's eye, this tech that is on top. Even that up there, you know, looks like tuning forks. It's a vibrational, something to do with vibration. Up on the architecture, we found out so much. Covering the one eye, that's something else that these fakers do. You know, I don't think any of them are real. At this stage of the game, when you watch BAFTAs and all that, you may see J-Lo and fucking Ben Affleck. And let's be honest now, guys, at this stage of the game, who actually gives a shit about any of them? Be damned, all of them. Except Woody Harrelson. I've got a big love on for Woody Harrelson for basically scrunching up the script and laying down some truths on American telly. I'm sure he's had some shit for that. But his father was CIA and had the assassination, if it even happened, which I'm doubting, at Dealey Plaza, the assassination of JFK. Because it's all bullshit, isn't it? Think about JFK, guys. So, well, Jack Ruby just like strolls in and just plugs Oswald with his gun. It's like the police let him in. It's like, and Oswald never splatters at point blank range. That's all you hear, and he drops. And he tells you all he's a patsy beforehand. And he got a little black eye that looks like his makeup. It's just Lincoln's assassination is all just a script rolled out, put into the newspapers, and everyone just thinks if it's in the news, it must be true. Evidence, when you try to pick it apart, and the evidence is all over the place. Like, you know, I got a photograph of JFK in the back of the car, and he said, "It's a dummy, it's a dummy," and Jackie's in on it. You know, she's in on it because you can see a lack of giving a fuck when they sign over presidency on Air Force One to Lyndon Johnson because she has to be there present as First Lady. And you can see that woman's not like, you know, women are ugly criers, no offense, like, and she haven't got like red eyes or just like her husband just got his brains blown out all over her. I'm just not buying it. I think it's all set up. I think it's just for the media. That whoever's there, actors. None of it makes any sense otherwise. Look at that for trippy architecture. This locking mechanism with the seashells, it's the technology. It has to be the brought them you, and they just show you. I got like glimpses in my psyche of this world, and it's like just the craziest thing that I see, and I can't put it into words either that I can explain. But I'll make efforts in the future. So the environment, you know, the next one now is CC. We all know this, don't we? Climate change, but they're ignoring the natural thing that's happening with the sky, like the sky's falling in, for example, and that the weather is gone freezing again in Britain. It's really piss poor at the moment, and other places have had crazy snow, crazy heat coming this summer. I can guarantee you that. But they've been cloud bursting, you know, forget Wilhelm Reich, 1940s. I'm telling you, like cloud bursting, you know, has been around since the 1800s. And it was all of this organ technology was well known. So if you had, like, for example, Oklahoma Bowl, they had this technology that they could have seeded and made it rain. So how come Oklahoma dust storms and Oklahoma dried out that way and California dries out? So they had these to cause rain. And this is like the early 1900s. So they've been doing, you know, weather modification for a long time. That image looks something wrong with it. Maybe it's just been in a hat. Maybe it's just been airbrushed over because it just looks weird. I don't know. And you see these all over antiquity as well. So they are some sort of make it rain device. And I think that's definitely the thing as well. I think they can cause droughts. I think they can make rains. And it's just for control of the population. Next step, you can, you know, the food's gone to shit. You know, the toilet rolls disappeared and nobody can afford anything anywhere. The cost of living is just pathetic, you know, for what we're getting in this life. It's just absolutely pathetic. And everyone's being taxed to death when it's all bullshit because currency is bullshit. Fiat currency and money is all bullshit. And we all know this all made up. And we all know that they can just print whatever money they need. And it doesn't have to be off of an equality of gold because that is just made up. It's just all bollocks. So, yeah, they've been doing it a long time. It's not new. It's old. This is old tech, just rehashed. Okay, they're doing it 100%. They are doing it. Okay, I'm back for a minute. Let's give a few of you shouts. Okay, we got you. Nearly 900 of you in the chat. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the first bit. There's much more to come on this. There's lovely India. I was a little bit worried. Never heard nothing from India for a week. And I was like, I wonder if India's all right. She is. And there she is. So remember this week, we're going to have a little talent show. It'll have to be Monday, Tuesday, the very latest. But I'll be on it after tonight's show. So there's Morgan Tristram. Good to see you. And Aaron. Good to see you, my friend. Free Press. Good to see you. And a hippie shake. So It's been a fantastic week, hasn't it? Got loads going on, and there's loads to look forward to in the near future. I'm going to probably hire my local pub and have a meet-up, but I'm thinking for the end of the month. But keep watching that. There's a big show next week. I don't know if India would be kind, or Tippy Shake. If you could go over to Brian Staveley's channel, on his Brian Staveley channel, and there's a show coming up. Okay, this week it's a new show, a special show, and that'll be on the, I believe that's the 8th, the 9th. Let me just check on my calendar. Thursday the 9th. Okay, new show over on Brian Staveley's. Keep an eye out and a look in my community tab. I'll keep you updated on all of that, and it's going to be pretty funky. Okay, there's loads of good stuff happening. The community is buzzing. The community is having a fantastic time. In fact, the community is having the time of its life. And so it should, because you're all fantastic, lovely people. And only good things happen to good people. Them lot, I wouldn't even worry about. I got my completely different Brian on about it all now. I really, really have. So sending love to India, everybody. And for Jax, yeah, my friend, good to see you. Scott, good to see you. Right, I'm going to have to drink something because after my first little blast of information, stacks more to come here. 900 of you watching. That's pretty marvelous. Please share this out. We're going to get stuck straight back in. So that's pretty apt, isn't it? We are not alone here. No, we're not. We are not. See, I'm under the impression as this is just a personal experience. Is I think I'm part of some sort of experiment ongoing. I think we all are in here. I think that I've had so much like sort of spiritual invasion in my life, you know, like just spiritually fucked with. And it's always dark entities. It's something about me. Something about my life force and my energetic quality, my fields that they don't really like, but they can't seem to do anything to. It's all a mystery to me, but I do believe in magic. Okay, so what? This is a picture on my wall, and this is where I think we're at. Is there's a picture here, and what you see, it's a room with shelves, and each shelf has a house on it, and they have an artificial body, if you like, their sun, moon, and here are the people out in the forecourt. And what you see is you have an overseer watching the whole thing, which looks a bit of an alien, as an experiment. Them people in there, because they got no outside frame of reference, they don't know about the outside world. How could they possibly know about it? To them, that's their world. In there, that room. That's their world. And they won't even question it, which is what is happening here. They're not questioning it. They're not saying, no, Truman, it's all been discovered. There's no more to be discovered. It's all been discovered. And nobody thinks there's any more out there because they think that the map that they give you is that that's all it is. Well, they tried that caper in the past. They used to present only Africa, Asia, and Europe and say that's the complete world. Hi, Joe. Much love to you, lovely, lovely lady. And RH. And Christian is in the house. Good to see you. Maz Dexter, you should have had your book by now. I sent it like a month or Sundays ago. There, Marcus. Jollyman. Good to see you, my brother. So, are you feeling happy? Are you feeling flat earth Britishy? Have you got that flat earth British Flatterday feeling? I have. I get that Flatterday feeling. It's a very, very exciting thing. Tartarian truth. What's that? Optical flat thumbs. Enjoying your stream. Oh, thank you. Tartarian truthage. And Jahuti. Rain Girls talking to Big Kush. I lived in Cali for 25 years. But it's apparently the weather's gone to shit there too. Apparently they had snow in Tenerife this week, so I've been told. Tenerife? It's off the coast of Western Sahara. How's that bloody snowing? Hiya, Joy Lovely. Hiya, Cheech, my brother. Hiya, RH. Hiya, West San. Hiya, Scott. Hiya, King Schnugelgershen. Hiya, Morgan. Hi, Brian. Don't know if Mel's in the house. Free Press. She might be. Alva Billy. Okay, gang's in. Okay, let's get stuck in to Mod Yusuf. Okay, because there's plenty more to come. We have videos, we have all sorts, and my images of the day. So autodidactic. Oh, thank you, Nomi. I can't wait to see that. Are you going to be streaming any of it? So autodidactic, he's doing a tour of Oz and he's selling out. I think it's sold out. And the one he's doing in I forgot the name of it. He's doing a tour with Kelly. We love Kelly. And JC, Quantum JC. We love Quantum JC. And they're doing a tour on Tartaria of Australia. Ooh. Tartaria. Long live Tartaria. So, yeah, it's getting massive, isn't it? I had a lovely email earlier off Bling Bling of the ISS. I don't know if any of you can remember her. She's like, Martin, she's like, so proud of you. She's saying, everywhere I go, everyone's on about Tartaria and mud floods and talking about you, like, everywhere. Like, is that so? She said, because she's my friend, she liked that. Oh, that's nice. Underground. Keep it in the family, innit? Our tribe. Our big, happy tribe of peeps. At least we got souls. I definitely think that's the case. But honestly, guys, that makes perfect sense because sometimes they look, you know, if I like go in a direction I'm not supposed to go and I fuck up the matrix and I get some person standing, they're like the shock in their eyes is like, you're not supposed to be here. The times I've had that happen in my life. Hi, Glenn, sketches. Dennis, good to see you, my friend. Fathoms. Virginia, Violet. Maxage is in the house. Good to see you, old mate. Okay, so there's a lot of the people have been here for many, many years. A flat earth British. A lot of you have been following this journey since the very beginning. Oh, thanks, Morgan Tristram. I got squatted last night live. This channel. Swatted? I don't know what swatted means. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, swatted. I don't know. Things are all over the place. YouTube are like gone crazy commie at the moment. Just get on with it and just hope for the best. As long as you stay away from certain subjects, you seem to be all right. Yeah. It's like I'm not going to be blowing smoke up anyone's fucking ass. It's just for them, that's for sure. Epinephrine, I love that name. Frankie and it's good to see you. Love you, my baby. Love you too, broski. Okay, let's get stuck straight back into the juice. Otherwise, this is going to be a long one. So yeah. It's going to be, I'm going to try and make that, well, I will make that a fantastic event for the peeps on the old Flat Earthers Got Talent. You'll enjoy all that. Okay. It'll be fun. A lot of fun. So that's what we're doing. So this is interesting. I was only aware of this week and I thought it was really interesting. I never knew about it before. I've heard of it. Tartaria. So this is definite contender for Tartaria. Is the Hotel Pennsylvania. What's the biggest hotel in the world, this, guys? So the hotel was at 401 7th Street in Manhattan, across from Pennsylvania Station, which we're going to look at later on in images, funnily enough, and Madison Square Gardens in New York City. So it opened in 1919, and it was once the largest hotel in the world. And it remained the fourth largest in New York City until it was permanently closed on April the 1st, 2020. During lockdown. It's weird. Didn't they have anything else to fucking do when they stuck at home? After years of unsuccessful preservation battles, as early as 2023, it was under demolition. And it's going to be replaced by 15 Penn Plaza, a 68-story tower. Lovely. So that's been there, and I've heard of it. So it's definitely a famous hotel. A beautiful little building. Look at the size of them columns. So it looks structurally fine to me to be just ripping down and making all of that judgment all through Rona. Look at the size of these columns and this stonework. That ain't going nowhere. They're having a giraffe. And look at it. Look at the size of it. It's all of that. Yeah, that is no wonder they call it. That was the biggest hotel. And look at the bottom bit as well. Just amazing. Again, they seem like a bit top heavy and all of the stuff's on top. So if the water was, say, up to there, or up to there even, you still got that bit sticking up. But even up to the mud, if the mud came that high. Inside, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful inside. Looks a bit Art Deco, not too much Venetia. 1819, that's what you'd expect to see this Edwardian feel. Beautiful, them glass. I mentioned them on my last post, them stained glass windows in the ceiling. I must give off beautiful light inside. So I got some great evidences coming up now, guys. Stuff you never knew about concerning history that you may not have thought of before. Because we do like to give you new ways of thinking. Look at the size of that. Is that a wooden vaulted ceiling? Old wood. Yeah, there is. With all like carvings in it and inscriptions or something, or paintings even. That looks like old world. That looks like old British world. I've been in some old abbeys and seen the very same ceilings. Look at it all. Beautiful artworks. God, the mysteries of New York City. That place is so much older. Oh, that is definitely Phoenicia. You got the shell thing going on and the indoor fountain. Again, with that same magnetized water technology. Just beautiful. That's an amazing ceiling, I must say. Wow. Again, look, yeah, it's all Phoenician stuff. Look, it's the fire pot and all of that. All right. Oh, and there's the Phoenician there, the lion. And again, with the shell thing, indoor fountain. Definitely electricity at 1819, no problemos. I think they were using it a long time in the past, and probably not all street lighting in post-reset times. I think in this power that they were producing was taken off pond, maybe to calculate or to actually make the simulation itself. And we are the source for the power, which would make sense why they keep X amount here, because if everybody dies, the simulation would dissolve and there would be no need for it. Maybe that's what's happening off pond as well. Maybe it's just not non-rendered because we haven't set eyes on it yet. So is the nature of consciousness. Look how they get us to do their dirty work for them with the language. The language, that's the control. And they get us to do spells using their language, using past syntax, using vowels, using vowels. It's so sinister. Don't want to do it. That's why I try to bastardize the language at any cost, if I can. But it's still got to be understood. So that's pretty cool. That's New York. So it's more Tartaria. So what you find, similar type of building, even though it's in Belgium. City I've been to many times. And I'm guessing it looks a lot different post-World War II. But this is it in 1870s. Unusual, that one there, isn't it? With the two things, like a gap missing, a rail for something, and then this and that. I don't even know what they are. Maybe a balloon could land straight into beside them two buildings, straight on top. Yeah, you could get a sort of balloon in it, I guess. Or I could see like a lightning going between you, like you get on Tesla towers, Tesla coils, or Van de Graaff generators. Because that tower there, is that the staircase? And what's on top of it? Wire. Yeah. I've never seen that setup before. It's really interesting. Massive windows. Look at the size of them windows. Beautiful artworks on the front of the buildings. But really nice windows then. I love that style. So it was called Anvers. I've looked at Antwerp before, but yeah, like I said, this is a city I really do like. I really love walking around Antwerp. I've been in there more times than I can remember. Just catch a train from Antwerp up to Rotterdam to fill up on my Genge, and then come back across to Belgium because they didn't have too much ganja in Belgium at the time. I was always really loved the architecture. I was always bored off my clat in Belgium. They're not very adventurous. Yeah, I met a few nutters in Belgium. Some of them have a laugh. I was just thinking about it. I did meet some nutters. But not really. Most of them are really, really fucking well-behaved ababos. Honestly, they're just so well-behaved. Even the gangsters are well-behaved in Belgium. So I'm not sure what happened here. The Great War, or Great War ruins. There you are. So even in World War One, Antwerp, the Germans did go through here on the Skiffle plan, and sort of went through the city. So I'm guessing this is Zeppelin bombardment because the Germans occupied Belgium. So there's Lille, again with these doors, again with that sort of futuristic Phoenician technology that we just noticed in the last posing toruses, spirals. I'd work for that. Echolocation mapping I was talking about. This thing here is weird. See this? I'm guessing there's flags or something on it, and whatever. I don't know, but it looks like I don't know. And there's one there as well, like a 3G tower. What else would they be? What are they? And then in the plaza, because they're not statues, not obelisks as such, and they do really, really look like technology. There's a fair bit of technology going on in Antwerp. I can't make head or tail of. So yeah, the skipper strat was really nice. It's really old, sort of that's where you get your weed and stuff. And if you can find any, because as I said, back in the day, you couldn't get too much in Belgium. That's amazing. But they do nice booze, if you're into that sort of thing. They do nice beer. Oh, look at that. That's a lovely little cave entrance. Loads and loads of children. Again, predominantly children. You see this in shit tons of photographs. Hardly any adults. Mud coming up to there. Mud coming all the way up to the top of that hill. A load of weird aerials in the background. Look at them. No, they're carrying, because that looks like it's supposed to be a gas lamp, but you got these aerials. There's a wire to there, maybe. I can't tell. So that's a nice castle. Okay. And a Greco-Romano Quay Van Dyke. Quay Van Dyke. So that church in Antwerp, I've seen many times. You can see that from sea. That's a good flat earth proof, that church, because you can see it like miles away in the North Sea, and it just sticks up. You can just see it from miles away. Beautiful staircases. Look at them. These days, right, you have shitty motorway aluminium bridges to go over roads and stuff, don't you? And in the old days, you had them beauties. Why did they take them down? We're looking at a parallel place that doesn't even exist. That's what I'm thinking. It's not only like does it look different, it's just the feel, everything about it is just weird. There's a bit of Rome there. And that building is just the top of a building sticking out, and see the mud flood windows. And it literally does look like that. It looks like that's just the top of a building. And why the massive, broad streets for a place that is only having horse and carts? As you can see, there's no traffic here for some reason. There's a horse and cart there. There's no transport on that street yet. It's a massive, massive, broad road. Look at the size of it. For whoever was there before, and the transport is what I'm suggesting that was there before. Oh, nice Art Deco tunnel. I think I've been in there. I think that goes under the river. Oh, no, that was in Hamburg. Don't worry, that's a different tunnel. But I think I've seen that. It looks familiar. I've seen that. But the size of that, it's only half a somatic pattern, but I'm sure it'd still give off a vibrational quality. So I learned loads this week, been really educational. The ladies come in this week, they had some really good research with them. So very impressive. They written it all down properly, like I do myself. So ultimately impressed with people who do real proper research. I really am. I got a lot of respect for that. Look at that. It's the Hippodrome again. You've got hippodromes in every city. The Hippodrome in New York City, they got rid of. And there's another one I seen in Atlantic City. I think that one is still there, if I'm not mistaken. Look, all of them statues, everything added. Same in the Royal Hotel in the city, in Cardiff City, where I live. It's one of the biggest, oldest hotels. It was covered with statues, but they took them all down. I wonder why they did that. And the lampposts. See these with the lampposts? Gas or not, there is something going on. They're too over elaborate. They're massive and they're beautiful and they're ornate. And they've also got window tax in Antwerp, same as Britain. So everyone in the world's got the same window tax. Can't be. There's something else going on. 1900s, we're getting it before the motor car, but still on horse and cart, and no electric tram in such a large city. It's interesting. And the opera house, is it? Oh, the theatre. All of these theatres look the same. That looks like the one in Austria. It looked like the one I seen in Prague. It looks like the ones you see in London. It looks like the ones you see in New York or even Detroit. It is replicated, this architecture. Side of it, Buckingham Palace. It's just the same. I can imagine all of that Phoenician world having these buildings, even if it is in a watery place, which it would have been, which we are now. Everything is water. We're water. You're telling me we're not water? Thank you for that, India, my lovely. Oh, you're so kind. Yeah, that's going to be a good do. So make sure to get over to Staveley's in the week. We've got a lot planned. We've got some surprise stuff coming up as well. Exciting for all the community. We love to do this stuff because that's what we do. We just love to see you guys happy and having a good time. And not, I'm coming on because we're all coming on leaps and bounds here, in all these communities. We really are, guys, and feel absolutely fantastic about it. Yeah, we don't even do like the ego thing or anything anymore. We're just all like humble, cool people, and it's so cool. I really dig it the way everybody is. Yeah, you get the odd like knob coming in now and again. And he's big-headed, and everyone's like, it just sticks out. It's like a sore thumb. No one even gives a shit. It's like no one listens to me. It's like, no, just be real, dude, man. Just chill out, innit? Just be one of the guys. Look at that. That looks like it's fake and it's just been put there. What would you say, guys? That is so out of place. What's it say? S-R-O-A. I'm not sure. Okay, no, that's out of place. I don't know why that is there. Oh, the different ages there. That's just incredible. And we've mentioned these umpteen times. The old, what they call bandstands, we call bunko booths in the centres of all towns. They could have been some sort of a rival place for interdimensional travel. Jumping, if you like, between different points in nows, I think is a thing. So I remember, look at that one. I've seen that before. I wonder what it could be. Some sort of harp technology. You've got an electric light there on a cable. Right, yeah, it's 1920s. Got 1920s cars. So I'm guessing that could be... Don't know. Something electromagnetic. Something that they're not supposed to have at that period. The amazing architecture. Look at the size of these buildings with the domes. Look how beautiful that roof is. Think, right? They make all our effort. People are down here. They're never going to see this shit. And they never do, guys. Look, all of the statues. They're never going to see any of it. So why do they bother putting all of the gear up on top? Because everyone's floating around in balloons is why. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. I'm not sure what Della Bruce is, but I can appreciate the decorativeness. Wow, look at the effort. Oh, thank you, Journey and Soul Therapy. 555, a lovely number. That's really sweet. Thank you. And Lagar, which is a railway station, which is looks like the Munster's house. These things are replicated. I've noticed the St. Pancras, even though it looks like some crazy palace from the old world, it's just smaller versions of St. Pancras all over Britain and all over the world. Look at that Moorish railway station they got in Melbourne in Australia. It's like, what? It looks like it's the Taj Mahal, man, but only bigger. It's just crazy. So what we got here in the centre, or just outside of Amsterdam Cathedral. I tell you what was good, guys, is when I went into the cathedral in Ghent, because it was that place where they had the Ghent altarpiece. Got stolen in World War II, and it's just like a massive painting and ornamental thing for the backdrop behind the altar. And it was like nicked by the size of that station by the Nazis in World War II. And they've had films made about it, the Ghent altarpiece. But they got it back now. But the Ghent Cathedral itself was insanely big. It reminded me of Cologne Cathedral. It was very similar build, Gothic. So these things are everywhere. We got a Cardiff Central Market, looks exactly like that. In fact, identical. But it used to be a woman's prison before it was a Cardiff Central Market. So, time for buckle in, guys. Did you share this out? 911. We're getting closer to that 1,000 mark. Let's be in 1,000 chat fee for the best Flatterday ever. Right, I'm not sure what's happening with this statue. Right, this woman, I thought she was giving birth in the beginning, and then I noticed she had like a meat and two veg, if we could call it meat and two veg. But maybe she is giving birth. But I'm telling you what, things are weird. What one woman said to me in my comments was this a couple of weeks ago. Incubator babies. What if in the past they weren't any women? And what if they introduced the women with the incubators and they, like Adam, took the rib from Adam to make the woman? But a woman is a womb man, a man with a womb. Maybe that's the case. So this is the crazy fucked up world we live in. Send your kids to school. I'm sure they'd be perfectly safe in the mixed toilets, etc. So this Filipino football team, if they are Filipino or Taiwanese or wherever they are, are supported by Pornhub. These little boys, little thumbs up. These seems little happy chappies. I wonder if this young lady actually knows what kind of hideous things go on Pornhub. So that's pretty fucking bad. Yeah. Oh, look at the pink team. Check out the pink team. Dear, oh dear. Is he smoking a fag? Oh, no, he's not. So, poor girl, you're hanging around with wrong ones there, mate. I'm telling you, I don't want to even tell you what they're thinking. Okay. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. What's with the white rabbit and being late? And why are all clocks, when they're exhibited, set at 10 minutes past 2? I think that there's a clue with that. I think that time's going to be relevant somewhere along the line. So Alice in Wonderland's the whole story of another realm, and the rabbit, he's in a bit of a nutty because you got to guess somewhere. Where do you think he's going to get to? What time's a construct? It's bullshit, isn't it? It doesn't exist. It's only nows. So any point in the past exists now. So if you're in the Wild West, if that even existed, you would be there right now because that would be your now. All time exists linear. So this is somebody told me off in my comments. I got it wrong. So it's in the United States of America, obviously, and it is called Goblin Valley, and it's in shit. I made a mistake and said it was Ohio. It's not, though. So it's anyways Goblin Valley, and this looks quite square. It's supposed to be like they say natural geological formation, but this thing here, it's got straight edges. Coin there, and a coin there. Like if it was one big massive. It looks exactly like the Gujarat at Ur. It looks like that step pyramid Gujarat at Ur. It looks exactly like that. Is what I think. And then these things, so what? They're non-melted statues. What, you're telling me the nature through glaciation and erosion and all of the rest of these weird things are supposed to be happening over long periods of time to nature ends up like that. So how did the stone get on top exactly? Okay, I can't buy that. So they do look definitely like they might have been animals at some stage or statues at some stage in what would have been a crazy old world right here. Look at that. And they're even on a plinth. I can't imagine any geological force that would make that happen. And in fact, they look like rubber ducky. A rubber ducky, Man, oh man, what a cool place. So this is British television, babes. The only one I remember is Leslie Ann Down. She's going through a drug stage. Must have been a cold morning. So British television, 70s birds. British television's obviously BBC. Is very bad indeed. But British television is part of my life. Things I hate. I hate nothing, and I don't like that word. One, vandalism. Yeah, I do dislike it. I hate litter too. Two, irony. I don't like irony. And lists. No, I don't mind lists. I write lists. I like lists, but I never wrote that. So what is going on? This is North Wales this week, just gone, and we've had the Northern Lights. And we're not meant to have the Northern Lights this far south. And I was told 25 years ago, before all of this internet stuff kicked off, by a friend of mine who's now deceased. If you ever see the Northern Lights this far south, you should be worried. And I said, why is that? So I don't know if he had like knowledge of the torus fields and the electromagnetics, but he said that all that time ago, and I never forgot it. They've been seen in islands. They've been seen. I've seen these myself, but I was in a place called Banff and Macduff in the north of Scotland, up by Wick, probably as far north of Scotland as you can go on the mainland. And I witnessed there. Stayed up all night, just sat drinking a Pelican beer, eating fresh, crusty bread with garlic, and watching that crazy light show. But it's signs that there is something shifting. I've seen some unusual footage that was released on Facebook yesterday in Ecuador of the sky on fire and just flashes. And it wasn't thunder and lightning. It was a clear sky, just like the Northern Lights. If that happened in Ecuador, then we're in, there's something really fucking off. But there's something really off, guys. We've never had them this far south. This is the Welsh Mountains. We've never had them this far south. It's just unheard of. It's just things are changing. So this is interesting. I dug this up, but obviously prints just from a book doesn't make it all a reality, but I find it really interesting anyway. Why the huge size football field size? No, don't know what that context is. Anyway, first, a bit of rarely mentioned manned flight history and a background of implied craft technologies. When George Washington was president, mid-1700s, a man was already flying. First designs for the airship was made in 1785 by whoever that is. And by the time of the US Civil War in the 1880s, man had developed working unmanned controlled aircraft. So big that Washington's flying around on probably a really cool balloon, which just goes to show that they were all flying around on balloons. And this was the transporter Tartaria. So here's the cast of Red Dwarf in the modern day. Cat is not aged too well, but I think Rimsey's hanging in there. Rimmer, Listy's hanging in there. Craig Charles and the Welsh guy Llewellyn, who was Crichton, is also hanging in there. I think they should do another series. And I know it's space related, but it's not at the same time. Okay, Red Dwarf was brilliant. Just saying. So here's some lovely, very well turned out ladies in the late 1800s in the 7 states of America. And they're very, very well turned out, and I would say very well to do. It's not exactly what you'd expect, is it? Concerning like what they said about like the 7 states, but they seem to be doing really fucking okay according to that photograph. I think that is, I can't remember which city. Does it say up on there? But no, I think it was in the Carolinas, South Carolina. Oh, I found donkey evidence. I'm not the only person who loves a cute donkey. And this is what I want to do, is I want to hug a donkey like that, get a kiss. When you meet somebody new and you hit it off immediately. So this girl got donkey love. And he's going, look, he goes, ee-aw. And they're very, very loving. How lovely is that? Who don't love a donkey anyway? There's loads of lovely animals. All animals are nice. Anyway, just have my animal buzz. Okay. Well, this guy looks like he's had a shit for. It's from a Russian painting called Woe Is Me, or thereabouts. So he's having a bit of a cob on. Maybe his pants are too tight. Who even knows? And why look at them stockings they were wearing. That's like supposed to be a manly thing to do. I wonder what that does. Oh, it's got a poker. Is that a heater, do you think? Put coal in there and it gives off heater or bellows to it there? Yeah, probably. A bit close to the wood, though, in the chair. But I bet these big buildings get bloody cold. I mean, So there's me this week, Tuesday. I went down to Penarth Marina with my son. They've introduced some hotels for hire on the marina. And they are pretty nice inside, but bloody shit, really. I bet they cost a bloody fortune. So, hang on a minute. We're going to discuss here in a minute. So that's how I go around, yeah? Urban guerrilla, ready for battle. Urban guerrillas, urban guerrillas. Okay? So, let's investigate Sigourney Weaver. Okay, and I remember watching this, tripping on mushrooms. Okay, and I remember like I had monsters' faces waiting to go into the cinema even before I got in there. So to see aliens, not aliens, tripping was amazing. So again, they say Sigourney Weaver's was maybe a bit of a dude somewhere along the line because she's about 6'4", isn't she? She's loads bigger than blokes. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But we can examine it just for, for scientific purposes, can't we? Yes, we can. Looks like it's a bit cold in space, guys. So, mosaics of the antique world. They're a bit naughty, I find. In fact, there's only one thing they're thinking about in the old world. Is why. And this sort of thing. Now, this is like, what is that? That is a demon that has come in with a massive, how can I put it? Member. There you are. He's remembered. That's disgusting. I'm not sure about that. So these a necklace you could have worn in the old days, actually a pair of earrings. Would you go out with a pair of dicky earrings? Do you think you get any attention when you're out? Do you think anyone would notice? I think loads of people would notice. I'd notice. Okay. What would that say about you? I could say a whole number of things. But... Ooh. Right, we're having a Felicity Kendall moment. She was made by angels, Felicity Kendall, and she can like make eggs and milk chickens and all of those family things that women do. If you're American, you're not going to know about her. Now, Jeremy Clarkson, I watched all of Jeremy Clarkson's new farming thing only a week or two ago when it came out on Amazon Prime, and I loved it. Yeah, who would have thought Gerald would make a superstar? And Callum. Somebody did this in the week anyway. Diddly twat. Council fucking did that. Not even a vandal. Yeah, in the middle of the night. Total twats. They don't like him because he's basically, he had a GoFundMe for that woman who had all of them fucking pigs die through bovine TB. And she's raised like, I don't know, 30 grand out of GoFundMe. He's helping the whole community there. And they really need him. And I really dig it. So this is I've explained this to you about British vandalism in the before, haven't I? British people do squirty penises. This is something we do. In 2015, a Manchester man started graffitiing giant penises on potholes so the council will clear them up faster. He was nicknamed Wanksy. I think that's actually a bit of genius. But like I said, there's different countries don't really do squirty penises. Britain, it's just like it's what we all do. Fucking hell. Okay. This Tolstoy, he's going to write books that are miserable as fuck. He's going to write Anna Karenina. He's going to write War and Peace. Jesus Christ, that must have took him about 40 fucking years because it's like War and Peace, isn't it, that book? But yeah, he was at the Battle of Borodino, throwing stones at Napoleon's army. Right, let's have a look at the 1900s. Atlantic City in New Jersey. Okay, this is Atlantic City. Broadwalk Empire. Mafioso everywhere. Let's see what they wore. Okay. So you wear these all in ones. And the women go in full gown. Okay, most people are actually fully dressed, aren't they? Oh, little dog. He's playing stick. Oh, cool. I missed that. His dog age. The sand's really nice. So people will just paddle. And you don't seem to anyone doing an actual swimmage. Men are properly covered up. No Speedos going on in this time. No bikinis. So proper crap. What's the point in going to the beach? So this is in Poland in a museum. Okay, in a bygone era. And they are going to clean up a very famous artwork using... post pipes. Now, I can see the obvious errors in what they're doing. I don't know. I'm no expert in painting restoration. Maybe they're just going to clean the frame because the frame's massive. How many massive paintings? I've seen Rubens painting in Cardiff Museum, and it was the same size as that. It was actually, it was in what are they called? Tapestry by Rubens. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. That big. Maybe, you know, giants were doing these artworks. Maybe it wasn't only their music that's been perverted and corrupted. Maybe their artworks too. Maybe underneath that, okay, X-ray is another painting that the giants produced, because that's a mystery in itself, how any of that. So here's a visor used by Charles II, King of Spain in the past. Don't know what's going on with that. Definitely looks a bit Phoenician. Weird. So this is a mystery. This is a Blitz World War II and a library that got a direct hit through the roof. But all of the books survived. I wonder what kind of bomb that was. It was an interesting little bomb. Obviously not a fire bomb. What kind of bomb could that possibly be that leaves all of the books intact in World War II? See, again, you know, there's something really weird and off about that picture. I can't really make it out. You know, the fact that the bomb doesn't destroy paper books. Whatever. Here is the first 14 megabit hard drive being delivered into a Panama a plane to be delivered somewhere. So it's like megabytes, like 14 megabytes, not gigabytes, megabytes. There's no processing power and it's that big. And now you've got like terabytes, like thumbnail size. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. This is a scam. What we're looking at here is a scam. Okay, this is the original location of Cleopatra's Needle. There's a couple of them apparently that they've been divvied out, these obelisks from Egypt. New York has a Cleopatra's Needle. The other is on the banks of the Thames, near the embankment, or on the embankment, Cleopatra's Needle. The story is they take it down, they put it on a ship, and they ship it all the way to London, up the Thames, and they take it out, and they put it up in its current location. And the same for New York, all the way across the Atlantic. Take a look at its surroundings. So they've got just like a building there and a load of wooden shacks and sticks and stuff all the way around. Okay. Now they say they shift it. I'll show you in a minute. That was in London, Epping, where a plane literally crashed just after it got took off. The narrative of this is there was a brand new baby asleep in the bedroom, slept through the whole affair in that room there, and never heard anything, which was a godsend. So we're happy the little baby didn't get splatted. Now, this is apparently the last person to stay in the location of where they're going to put Penn Street Station, so they say. So they cleared this entire part of New York City. This building, I can imagine him having a terrible time trying to get rid of him, but he's not going. And look at all of the mud flood vaults and cellars all the way up here. So apparently they built Penn Street Station, as you know, also short-lived. Just done a massive, massive thing. So did it really go in that footprint? What was there before? Just crazy. Trains. Okay, so apparently there's a lot of trains that hit head-on collisions and this sort of thing happened. Or did they just come along after a reset and there was so much machinery hanging around they can just smash trains together willy-nilly? It doesn't even matter because they got millions of trains from the previous reset, the previous occupation of this place. There's another thing that I'm just doubting for this. Like they can Photoshop anything, and the Victorians were crazy on Photoshop, really were. So nothing. Oh God, if I could just remember what city it was, I'm sure it's Seattle. But anyway, skyscrapers, all of that going on, and I'm guessing the mountains in the background, your marker, that is the same place with nothing there whatsoever. A grocer's, 2 trams 2 trams in mud with no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buildings, and they've already got a tram system. Something really off about that photograph. From that to that, I doubt. So this is a picture of the top floor restaurant of one of the Twin Towers, the World Trade Center. Beautiful view. Look at the bridges and all that. So can you imagine being in there? It's like, what's that dot over there, Harold? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it looks like a plane. It's getting closer. Oh, well, don't worry. These buildings are designed to withstand and penetrate any plane hitting it. That was in the design itself. Oh, really? Yes, it's getting closer. Are you sure? Yeah, it looks like it's actually going to hit us. Well, I wouldn't worry about it because all planes are made of aluminium and have crumple zones. So this building's made of solid steel. So if it did hit us, it would crumple up in Constantina and it wouldn't really do any damage and would hit the ground below us. Are you sure? Oh, yes, it's in the building's design. All buildings are designed this way. Nothing will happen to us. Oh, because it's about to hit us through the window. Like I said, it's going to bounce off. This building's made of reinforced concrete and steel. Okay, no problems. Now, painting. So here we got a poor old Huguenot. Again, he's one of the Charleses of Spain. He's a Phoenician. Okay, he's been cursed with the Huguenot look, but actually he's a Habsburg. He's not a Huguenot. He's a Habsburg. He's a Habsburg. I made a mistake in my historical insults. The Habsburg, there he is there, Charles. And the painting, when you look at an X-ray, there's a younger Charles underneath, and it's been painted over, which makes you think, why didn't they keep the younger Charles painting and just get another easel and another canvas? What is going on with that? Replacements is what's going on with that. So, Concord, they got rid of that, but I guess they had to because it was going to really fuck up Coriolis and apparently Earthspin and everything else with Flat Earth coming on so strong. They had to get rid of that. So that was brilliant. Mach 2, cross the Atlantic Ocean, 2 hours, New York, London, fantastic. Why haven't we got that now? I'd love to go on Concord. Now, let me take you on a trip down memory lane. Can you remember this? Yeah. It was the last ever flyover, and flew it all over American cities, of the parent space shuttle. Yeah. So apparently put a giant plane on top of another plane, and apparently the plane actually took off the ground with a plane on top of it. Apparently. They said when they was watching it, they said, it's like a miracle, isn't it? This thing actually takes off. It's like, well, not really if the fucking thing's a balloon in the beginning. Yeah. What is this ass thing? That was not none of the takeoffs, was it? So I'm guessing they had to add a bit to make it aerodynamics and fly it over the cities and stuff. But yeah, I don't think you can fly a plane on top of a plane. I think that's insulting people's intelligence. I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's physics possible. I don't think that plane at the bottom would be able to get lift and fly because of the plane that's fucking on top of it. Ridiculous. Here is the tomb of Marie Curie. Marie Curie is buried in the Pantheon in Paris, like, because she's all important because of her radiation. Because she's so radioactive, they've put her in her own vault with a couple of inches of concrete or whatever, stone, in there, because apparently you can't go into that room because Marie Curie's so radioactive. Whatever. All of them. Heisenberg, Einstein, Marie Curie, all of them fucking Bohr, all of them quantum mechanic fucks, all of them people that just shit out of nowhere in 1909 are all actors. Okay? They're all in the same acting school. They don't know dick about dick. Okay? Here is the fantastic British S.O.S. They painted their Jeeps pink, not because they was puffers, because they realised that they go invisible in the night when they're breast pink. They go into, this is in North Africa, prior to the Battle of Al Alamein, Tobruk. Yeah. So they go in to an entire German encampment, Lewis guns blazing, drop a load of hand grenades, kill a shit ton of Germans, yeah, and then go back home for tea. Look at all the fuel they carried. So if you got basically a bullet on there, I don't think diesel ignites with a bullet though. So that's the British SAS when they first started off. Tough as fuck. Would you mess with them? They're not even scared because they're British. They're not even scared. It's like, I'll batter them all. So here's Darth Vader. He took his daughter on holiday. Yeah. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. She's really small, wasn't she, when she was alive? God love her. She's only. It's nice to know, like, Darth Vader goes to the beach and does stuff with his daughter anyway. Yeah. As long as there's nothing weird going on, that's really nice. There's another one of those, and this is in Manhattan also, and it's the last red brick building standing, and they're going to knock it down, and there somebody lived in there. I bet he had a hell of a time off of gangsters to get out of there. But look at the mud flood on that. That's such a lovely picture. I was considering that for a thumbnail. Oh, thank you, India. That's in October. There's plenty of time to go. But I'm going to do it to take Tartaria to another audience. But like, they're like, it's all like purple pilling information. They're not really, they don't go, nobody really goes as deep as us. So here's Lawrence of Arabia. Okay, as we all know. See Lawrence the author. What is going on in the background? Because that looks like Toulouse-Lautrec there. I might be wrong. Yeah, I think it is. And I think that's another picture of a Coldstream Guard, and this one's been layered on top. So a bit of a story. Them knives are weird. How'd you actually get it out? Because of the jewels and all that. He got some good shit. You could break a car window with them as well. That is brilliant. Yeah, so good film, Lawrence of Arabia. This is weird. This is in Ely, where I live, where I grew up, the Grand Avenue. And this is the Resurrection Church, or the Church of the Resurrection, where I was christened. But that house is not there in the modern day, and that looks nothing like the Church of the Resurrection. Something's happened. I'm going to do a comparison in the near future, as soon as I get my camera come soon, whatever. So, Giants. This was, I got the schematics, the details for this, but they built an enormous car. Who's going to drive it, and how are they going to drive it? There it is. Studebaker builds world's largest automobile, 41 foot long. Right, so how does it turn corners? This is the normal car size, look. Maybe that's why they had bigger roads, because they were giants in cars. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Those giant worlds with giant cars. Maybe that was just left over. That is mad. They got Firestone tires, though. Jesus, how do they drive? They're standing up. What kind of speed would it do, I wonder? Because it's massive. Lumbering or go like shit off a shovel. I do not know. That many people can go on just one car. Great for a family holiday. So let's have a look. And also, they had this. I've seen pictures of this in the past. I've shown it a few times. The giant typewriter. Yeah, it weighs 28,000 and it was shown at the exposition of Pan Pacific International Exposition in San Francisco. It was outside, and they had it inside as well for a while. And it was just an insanely big typewriter. But if you're a giant, you'd be able to type with it. Because I don't even know why they go to the effort to make these typewriters if they're that big. Like, you can see that they got to really push these buttons down. Underwood Master. And then they've wrote, Underwood Master Fisher welcomes you to the World's Fair 1940. When war is raging in Europe. Well, not yet. The Second World War's on. So they got time to build a massive typewriter. Or was it left over from the previous occupants? Look at this thing here. I'm not sure what the context is, but I can see it's in expositions. But this thing, I think it's a figurehead for a ship. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's Phoenician, it's got breasts, half fish, but a sort of seahorse head, dragon head. Not sure Really unusual, that one. This is a lovely building in London. Look at that for a bit of architecture. Not sure where that is. Canalt Place. But wicked rotunda. Can you imagine that room in there? And look at that on there. Wow, that is a beautiful red bricker. Or just one building. I wonder if it was a dwelling, you know, like for some family to live in. Or if it was device. Because of that there. Unbelievable. I like that building. Here's one of the earliest pictures of London ever taken. And not too many people on the streets. You can see ghosts there. Everyone's got a coal fire going by the look of it. It looks like the depths of winter. This must be a lift shaft or a stairwell or something, because you can't have lifts in them day and age, apparently. But everyone got a chimney pot. Old stonework on the side, unrendered. No telegraph poles, so what are they? This is 1840. What are they? What's that one? There's no telegraph, 1840. Well, they got poles, but no telegraph's been invented or rolled out just yet. Anyway, meet our think tank. Oh, okay. Our latest thought detector van from 1973. And this is the technology. Remember television license vans? Oh, they got your number, didn't they? Okay. Oh, these ones are worse. We can now pick up those subconscious thoughts that even you aren't aware of. Thinking wrong thoughts could lead to a £500 fine or 5 years imprisonment. Whatever you think it over. Don't get the wrong idea. So, okay, so we've got police our thoughts because they got these vans in the 70s. Imagine what they got now. Going round and basically thought policing you, which is definitely something they're going to do. So these are pictures of Madrid. And this is an old engraving, but it just goes to show the size of the buildings in the old world. It's like, what the hell? That looks like Big Ben's in the corners there. Look at the size of them towers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that caper inside. And this one is in Morocco. I think it's not Casablanca. I think it is. But it's the Roman world. It's been mud flooded. This, excuse me, this Colosseum is like half buried in mud. Okay, this possible water tower that's going to a aqueduct anyway. As you can see, like a sort of canal on top. That would be connected to this, feeding that city with water, probably. Nothing to do with, you know, gladiatorial acts, I suspect. So, and that one is in Madrid. That's still there in the modern day, and it is just insanely big, tiered building. There's all mud underneath it. Greco-Romano, but it looks like Buckingham Palace on top of Buckingham Palace. The size of it. Just these royal houses with all of those rooms. Ask yourself, why? Just for one family. None of these rooms are ever lived in. It was the same for Buckingham Palace. Nobody ever lived in them rooms, guys. Balmoral, all of these massive royal palaces, no one lives in them rooms. Then 1 or 2 are occupied, and they're small too. You know, the Queen's, you know, suite when she had it, the rooms in Buckingham Palace were small. Apparently, years ago, there was a narrative. This guy had managed to shinny up the drain pipe at Buckingham Palace, miss all security whatsoever, and then sit in with the Queen and asked her for a cigarette. And she's like, I actually don't smoke. One doesn't smoke. One's the Queen. She's like, can you get me a fag? He didn't do any harm to her. And he apparently sat there and talked to the Queen for ages. I bet she was shitting herself. First time she's ever been face to face with an actual commoner. Because usually they don't touch him. She's got gloves on. She don't look him in the eye. He's not allowed to and all that because she's basically too weird. So here's Paris showing mud flood. We've seen this image many times. It goes down so many levels and all of that dug out. It shows bottom levels of pillars, as you've seen, and the existence of a deeper outer world that is already down there. Put in a long, long time ago. A long, long time ago, Vansport. Vans. What is that? I don't know. That's an old name for somewhere I do not know. Aliel, who's got a beautiful statue of some noble person who done shit all for anyone ever. This is good. I'm happy about this if it's true. Again, words on a screen does not make it a reality, but these two guys look the fucking same. We pulled this. Actually, Bex pulled this. So Freemason Church of Satan founder Anton LaVey, last words spoken on his deathbed. Oh my, oh my. What have I done? There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. Yeah, no shit, Shirley. And there's his, Crowley there. It looks just like him. Really weird. Maybe they're just possessed by the same demon. Anyway, so the next one is Aleister Crowley, and his last spoken words on his deathbed was, "Oh, I am perplexed. Satan, get out!" Because, he's basically in the shit. As soon as he got out of this mortal realm, they're waiting for him with, basically he's going to have a pineapple inserted into his anus at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Him, Anton LaVey, and Adolf Hitler. So this old lady, I like her. I'd like to see her. So this old lady goes out to the park with her puppy, and she does that. So I love the fact that the old lady did that, because most old ladies feel that they're just invisible and no one gives a shit. And look what happened. Squirrel come up to see the little old lady. Better than Benny Hill. So how big can you get a Van de Graaff generator? We had a look online, me and my son. So as he's thinking about building one, he wanted to build something funky for flatearthbritish for us all. And Van de Graaff generator is not expensive as you might think. Something like that would be millions. But I noticed Zach, my friend, got one. Zachary Sambala, Good Times for All. He's got his Van de Graaff generator. I'd love to see it in action. So I would really love one. Be really good fun. So, not that I give a fuck about any of these anyway, but I found it interesting that they say tens of thousands of people died who didn't need to die. So they're admitting that tens of thousands apparently died in the last couple of years. And, where were the funerals? Because I was out every day and I didn't see any, not one. Now, context is record grooves on an album and a cannonball. This is an old cannonball with grooves on it. Could it be, a cannon bell? Music. Some sort of acoustic music coming from a cannonball or record. Because that looks like there are grooves on a record. And it could be a similar idea to cannon bell. Cannonballs, grooves on records. Who even knows? So here's two pigeons, yeah, and I think he had his mates over because I've never seen this before. I didn't know all this happens in the pigeon world, but who knows? Threesome in the pigeon world. Get there, Jemima. So who are we to question him? So I love this guy, Rick Mail. Oh, so sorry that he died. He was one of the good guys. He told us something once in a camera thing, between sets when he was recording that last movie he'd done, Truth or Film, and ended up dead a little while later. But Anna crashed his quad as well. They just tried to get him loads. Destroy your television sets now. You must listen to no orders. That's all I can tell you at this point in humanity. Believe me. Little short of time later, he says he's dead. Really did like Rick Mail. I really knew he was a good man. So there it is. So apparently there's back to the narrative of the Cleopatra's Needle, which looks to be cracked and flucked. So is that the original location? Okay, we'll give it it's on the banks of the Nile there. And it's all shitty and sticky. And it looks nothing like the other one. So they shipped it one to America. They shipped one to New York. They shipped one to thing. But the evidence is not there. What they show you is an engraving of them putting this giant stone lintel that would probably sink a ship if it was really in one. And they put it in through the bows. But they got photographs for it standing, the shipping of it. It turns into an engraving. Okay. So how did they get into the ship? Well, they introduced a massive crane pivot system and they lifted it up. But unfortunately, they'd done that in an engraving because they couldn't actually show you, great HD photograph, get to the actual moving of it, and then it's all engravings. Suspicious. Oh, look at that. That's a hedgehog and beautiful sunflower. Oh, thanks, Tartarian. You're a babe. Love to you. Oh, look at that cute little hedgehog. I love them. They're endangered as well. Put some milk out, put stuff out for your hedgehogs. Keep your hedgehogs going. They're brilliant. I feel I like literally keep my bird community going around here. So there's more evidence of cannonade, doing seeding, and making rain when it's drought. And they've been doing it for quite some time. That is in 1910. God, Wilhelm Reich was years after that, but he's got the we say it come from him. So don't play with super glue. And this is advice from intellectually superior Vulcan, who's Dr. Spock. Also, don't touch your penis if you've got super glue on your fingers, because that could be really bad. Okay. There's an old piano and he's shaking up behind the green door. This is Shaking Stevens. If you know him, you may not know him. Green Door, maybe one of his famous songs. He sung a load of shit songs. He impersonated Elvis. Anyway, so he's from here in Ely, where I come from. And on my way to high school, he used to go into his mother's house, Mrs. Barrett's out of. He used to have Mercedes-Benz. And we used to be really proud of him, guys. We used to say, all right, Shaky, on the way to school. And he was really nice. And he said, hey, boys, what's going on? I said, oh, fucking school and his shit, mate. Yeah, and he was really all right. I liked Shaky, and he is an Ely boy after all. Behind the green door. Sellout. So, what's going on here? I don't know. I thought it was an interesting artwork. Not because I did notice there was Lady Garden, but she's got a veil on, and that is all. And she's hugging a skeleton. Make your own idea up of the context. It seems a bit weird. I think there's a message in it. It's like, even in death, she won't leave me the fuck alone. Face, isn't it? Look at him. It's like she's never going away. Lifetime after lifetime, she keeps coming back, making my life a fucking misery. San Diego had a groovy clock. See this? San Diego's famous clock. And it's made by the Jessups. It's a wonderful clock. Okay. It's 21 feet high and has 20 dials, 12 of which tell a time of all nations. Interesting. All principal cities of the world, as well as the hour, the minute, the second, the month, the time of day of the week. And the clock is jeweled with native San Diego stones. Okay, so it's tourmaline. Wow. Topaz jade, agate, which were mined by the Jessups and cut in their very own shop. Every part, its intrinsic mechanism, was designed and made by hand. Okay, by the Jessup shop, and it was completely jeweled, the finest made street clock in America, and it weighed 200 pounds. But the most interesting thing of all is it winds itself automatically by electricity. So automatic, it's electricity, and the date on that, 1907, a fully electrified clock. All them jewels, all that finery left out in the street. Wow, that's absolutely fantastic. Imagine them doing something like that in the modern day. All they get in the modern day is fucking Subways and Walmart. So I don't know what this is. It's from a really old photograph. I thought at first it was something to do with rocketeering, but then I seen this up here and this up here. So this is definitely electrical. It's massive, and it's on railway sleepers. I really can't say what that is. But this guy, he's engraved. He's carved this out of wood, and it's very Phoenician. Well, they say he did anyway. Don't see him doing it, and there's not a big pile of sawdust. But that is apparently wood, and it's carved. It's fantastic. It's hard to do wood. So there they are, Phoenicians blind to this realm, which makes perfect sense if they're from the depths. You will just see that they have ginger hair in a lot of cases. So this is a 1960s painting. Can't remember the author. I think it was a Russian author, and it's called The Unicorn. And so you've got a unicorn which is all nasty and like weird looking, and the lady, nothing much going on. Some sort of hat there, and what looks like a load of babies bursting out of an egg, with some sort of weird creature here out of an egg. So I thought that was weird for 1960. That's pre-psychedelic era, and I thought, what is their frame of reference for all of this bit going on, especially concerning reset? Look where they're standing. There's a bit of an interdimensional quality to that as well. I'm not sure what that is at the bottom. But I thought it was an interesting artwork, nevertheless, and the unicorn as well. I've always thought unicorns were intelligent and spoke. So here's Einstein, and he's just telling you exactly what he is. There's Mini-Me, another puppet. All in plain sight. Okay. The Secret of the Old Wanker. Hey, what the fuck knocked that shit off by Caroline King. So be careful when walking in the woods. You might bump into an old wanker. Oh, this is quite interesting. You ever seen this? Are you so alone? Well, not anymore. Get the Ryan Gosling husband pillow. Kisses, cuddles, and dry humps. Okay, we know about dry humps from that film with Justin Timberlake, isn't it? You know, remember? Simpatico, simpatico. So order now, or white suppliers. Even your cats will snuggle him. Oh dear. Easy to clean. Just hose him off. I bet they really got them. I bet they have blow-up sheeps in Wales, so they're definitely going to have blow-up Ryan Roslins, if that's what women like. I don't know. Okay, baby cucumbers, it says here on the wrapping. Okay. Perfect for snacks or entertaining. If you know what I mean. So when they said it, guys, it's not disgusting. See the toys they sold you as a kid? No wonder there was so much suicide. The doll with low self-esteem. The unhappy to be me doll, Jenny. Okay. I do not like myself. Can I please be someone else? I don't think she looks that bad. She looks like she's a bit of a mess, but I don't, I think she should address them issues. So if you're a little girl, you were given that, I'm guessing you had some sort of problems when you grew up. My doll was really depressed. That was in 1992. Weird. Oh, I either give too many fucks or no fucks at all. It's like I cannot find a middle ground for moderate fuck distribution. So I had mine surgically removed as a child, my give a fuck gland, you'll find. Anyway, moving on. 930 of you watching, coming up to 1,000. That's fantastic. These are the first ever pictures taken of Angkor Wat, built by the Khmer, and we don't know much about that civilization except they were highly advanced and they disappeared and nobody knows what happened to them. Okay, but they built Angkor Wat, and the word Angkor sounds like anchor, ships, and Wat, electricity Watt, and we've seen it from above, and the thing is just a circuit board. But when they went in and first discovered it, these are the photographs that they took. So these are from 1873. So they're early. Nobody's like been here, walked around, and it's just an energy center. Look at the combs on the top of there. And they look like teeth, don't they? They look like giant's teeth. Dragon's teeth. They look exactly like teeth, don't they? That's weird. I wonder what they really made out of. Maybe some ceramic material. We see that a lot. So yeah, the jungle completely took this place back. They had to cut all the jungle off it. And the place you see today is a microcosm of the actual site itself. It is beyond belief big. The site of Angkor Wat is beyond belief big. find it in Cambodia, which was formerly Kampuchea, and caused a load of problems because there was a guy, Pol Pot, and he was completely obsessed with the Khmer Rouge, or the Khmer. So he set up looks burnt. He set up the Khmer Rouge, as you know, went completely potty, killed all the poor people, or killed all of the Bucktooth farmers. So was the nature of ethnic cleansing. You know, Stalin did the same as well. He declared war on the countryside. He said, "Oh, for fuck's sake, them lot on the countryside. No, I can't be having that. You have to get rid of them. I'm sorry. We've got to look at them." So it's completely different than the usual angles and shots we get of Angkor Wat. But what his original purpose would be, in their narrative for worship, a temple is just bullshit. This would have been full of mercury, I bet, something. But yeah, it's a power station. It's massive. It's part of the circuit board cities, and this is a really important bit. Look at the size of that. Wow, that is mad. It's all still grown over at this stage. They cleaned it up a lot since then. And these massive Buddha faces as well. They're so trippy, aren't they? They make good thumbnails, they would. I wonder if that's like burnt because it looks blackened. I wonder if that's just the top as well. And the rest of the body's down there. The whole thing. And that's just the head. There's another one there, look. Giant heads. So, what the hell is that? I'm guessing it's a tree. Looks like a bloody signpost to me. Can't be a signpost. They've only just got there. Weird. So yeah, Dungle took it all back and smashed. So when did the Khmer exist? Apparently around the same time as, say, the Aztecs. So 1600s. They built all of this craziness. Disappears off the face of the earth. No one knows what happened to them, like all Asian civilizations. Because I got a book in the room called Vanished Civilizations, and just endless amounts, everything from the Hittites to the Urs, everybody actually goes missing, and nobody knows. There's loads of narratives. Oh, they all murdered themselves. They had famine now, and they all killed one another, and all of these different narratives which make no sense to anybody. So yeah, that's fantastic. That's an unusual tree there. Might be a mangrove. It can't be, because that would be watery. Whatever that is. Looks like it might be broke off. Yes, I'll move on. Angkor Wat. Okay. So yeah, it's mess. There's trees like literally growing out of it, bursting out of it. There still is in the modern day. And you've got the characters of the Veda all presented round. But that's trippy. That is trippy, the way the trees take it back. Nature would take all this place back if we weren't around. Just left. Wow, that's trippy. Really nice. So that'd be a really interesting place to visit. Can't imagine being able to go to Cambodia and not getting any actual serious trouble. Be the same for me if I went to Mexico. I can imagine me getting into serious trouble in Mexico. All them pretty women everywhere. And I'm bound to end up getting in trouble with a local cartel or running the local cartel in no time at all, accidentally. Yeah. The first non-criminal gangster. I turn everything round. Oh, that's pretty. Again, don't look too Indian, does it? It's got really big lips and stuff. I don't know. Trippy and a giant. That looks like a trip. Looks like, just tripping. That's amazing. Again, look at that face up there. Whoa, don't tell me that's not trippy. Please don't tell me that's not trippy. That looks like it's been heated and cracked, a lot of heat. And that whole thing looks like the shape of a person. And you got the head on his chest, shoulders, head. What do you think? They used to break rock by heating it with fires and then just whacking it with sledges, and it breaks. And it looked just like that when you heat stone. It cracks that way, like perpendicularly. And all of this stuff looks blackened as well. Do you know why? Because I really do feel like this place melted down at some stage in the past. There was a Tartarian meltdown in one of these resets. Probably the same time as the flood, actually. It's probably just a compression, large plasma discharge because of the added compression, and then the water. But they knew. There were survivors. They knew. The elites definitely know. And they're probably getting tipped off. They're probably doing technology exchanges with them that I mentioned earlier. Because a lot of, like Werner von Braun and Oberon and Edward Teller and dicks like that. I think even Oppenheimer stated that we had help from others, sort of leading you to think that they're on about ETs. But yeah, we're talking ETs, extraterrestrials, extra land. Not from outer space, where it's no space, because there's no space. It's just ridiculous. What a thing to invent anyway, is space. It's just, no. So plenty more to come. What is the time now? Is coming up to 10:30 UK time. I'm just going to show you a little video. I need to leave the room for 2 seconds. Please make sure to share this out. This 925. It's so tantalizingly close to 1,000. Not that that makes a difference. 900 still a lot of people. There you are. So this is a bit of a homemade movie. That is, I got a load of these actually. They're really cool. And they're from the Wathan collection, the Wathan family, Greenwich Village, New York, snowstorm, and Coney Islands, which is like Luna Park, yeah. Artist Street exhibition in Greenwich Village. So I'll leave this on, and I can't show the whole thing. It is pretty cool though, and it is a private movie, and it's public domain, so it should be all right to just show you for a minute. Okay, I don't think there's any volume. Okay. Bernie Crypto. Check that. Empire State Building. Oh, look at all the artworks in the streets. So I guess in the war's on. It's 1940. It's a sailor then. So all the artworks. Look at that old wall and all. Let's have a look. Some Van Gogh, some Picasso copies. See that Picasso? I don't know why anyone sees in Picasso. It's total shit. It's like somebody with learning difficulty made it, and then they're all the elites are so fucking dozy. They're like, oh, that's really good. I can see what they was doing there. So I can you, and then they'll come out with some like I don't know, fucking beatnik shit. Yeah. Oh, I think it was redundant in feeling, and he's met himself in an eclipse in the middle, and it's all just some shit like that. Fucking arty-farty talk. Very annoying. What do you think, darling? Oh, I don't know, darling. See, I think they're all in it together. I really do think the doctors are in on it together. I think with the experiment, and I think the people who run the media are definitely in on it. The art world is definitely in on it. Music industry definitely in on it. And music artists probably don't even know what they're saying when they sing about these things. You know, for example, Children of the Sea. Yeah, that song tells us everything about this place by Black Sabbath. It's like Dio says that he wrote it with Black Sabbath as their first album, Heaven and Hell. And I'm like, really? So how the fuck do you know all of that? Because it's just taken us like 5 years to uncover what you've just told us in a music track. So are you sure that you wrote it? No, the Tavistock wrote it. So they're all very nice. The one looks like Truman, doesn't he? He looks unusual. He's got a bit of a FA Cup year thing going on, but it stops his hat slipping over your eyes, I guess. I don't know. So he's putting these. It's Zapadan man. He's got Brill cream on. He's got Brill cream on his hair. Everyone wore. Nobody had long hair. There was no hippies back then. They should have had hippies. I think they had hippies in the American Civil War. A lot of them Confederate soldiers have got long hair and they look like Kurt Cobain. Have you seen? Yeah. They're not all long hairs. Short hairs in the American Civil War. So a nice East Bridge going over to Brooklyn Ditch. Let's have a look. Look at me, act at me like I actually know where I am, like I've actually been there, but I haven't. But I do hope to. It's on my my list of shit I gotta get on with is go to America land. I think I would be very, very useful to Americans, and they're gonna love me. They're gonna like me. I can imagine, like when I arrive, them giving me a special treatment. So you're flat British, aren't you? It's like, yeah. It might not go that way at all. It might go completely the other way. Yeah. It's like you might, see him like flicking the rubber glove and looking me up and down. Yeah. So, well, what are you thinking? It's like you might be concealing something. No. So let's have a look at Coney Island. So we got a Coney Island in Wales as well, in Porthcawl. It is shit. Right, they're getting down to the grainies and the budgie smugglers at this period. The 1940s, a bit more risque, but everyone thought they was going to die in a war in Europe, so everyone was bang at it. But I might be wrong. Don't know if you get any topless bathers at this period. Probably not. So yeah, they got speedos on. Nasty, nasty. What's that? The dingle baths, where you have a dingle in the bath. Oh, that's stupid. I've seen that played. I've seen that played at a U2 concert once. I felt that's fucking stupid. I hope they drop them on the ground doing stupid shit like that. And human pyramids, 10 tiers high, I seen in a concert once in a stadium. I thought, that's dopey too. The girl at the top's going to fall and break her neck. Yeah, see? He could have landed upside down then and snapped his neck. That would have been awkward. Be like that gymnastics scene in Final Destination, when she snaps her neck. It's awkward, that bit. I don't like that film. I don't like that film. Anyway, forget about that. So look at that kid. So most kids are like really fucking ugly, but like you get some of the odd cute kid, and they're really cute and lovely. But most are like, oh my god, it's like human maggots, isn't they? Till they get some features and a bit of character. That's not the same for like my friend's babies or any babies in my family. They're really cute and lovely. Just NCP babies. Okay. I'd have a go with that, but without the parachute, it'd be more fun. That would get them. That's on wires. It's not a proper parachute drop. I'd love a go on a parachute. I put my name down for a bungee jump once when I was working on a Millennium Stadium building it. And the morning that I had to do it, I turns up and it's like, it's the second biggest crane in the world or something. He brought it from Rotterdam or something to lift the roof on. 2 of them there. And when I seen the bungee thing, I was like, yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that today. I'm not in the mood. I got a bit of a bad belly anyway. I was thinking something bad could happen if I get like juggled around on an elastic band from all the way up there. So they came looking for me as well to say, are you still going to do a bungee, Matt? I was like, no, I'm not in the mood today, which I wasn't in the mood for a bungee. You've got to be in the mood. If I would have been more not in working mode, shit-faced, I'd probably get on it. I get on roller coasters. Me and my son, we went to Coney Island. You asked him, he's in chat probably. And there was a roller coaster and there was a boy and he had a shifting spanner and he was tightening a bolt on the side of it. I thought, oh my God, this really unsafe. I'm going on it. And so I went on it and the whole thing was rattling. I thought, oh, fucking hell, this is definitely going to come off. I'm going to end up like just flying through the air like your Final Destination in this little car. And I've had some really bad accidents at fairgrounds. Now I'm thinking about it. I had a crash on the walls on the Dodgem cars in Barry Island and smacked my face on a rock hard steering wheel and cut my face open. I remember that. I remember cutting my foot on a piece of glass at Barry Island as well. What else did I do? I fucked myself up loads at fun fairs. I had really bad experiences on the waltzers. I think I did a projectile vomit once. I think I landed over everybody, if I remember rightly. I tell you what was good, though, is, them centrifugal cages you get in? Yeah. If you lean forward when you're stuck to the side, yeah, women's bosoms do a really unusual thing with centrifuge. It's the only reason you're going to go on there, guys, because there's no other point otherwise. Okay. So there's the big cold snap in New York. It's cold here now in Britain. 5 years ago in Britain, we had the Beast from the East turned up. And that was definitely weather controlled because they knew exactly how long it would be, how much snow it would dump, how bad it would be. See, when it snows in Britain, Europe is laughing its tits off. The Germans are like, oh, fuck me. The whole of Britain has closed down. All they had was 2 inches of snow. What's the fucking matter with them? We know you're laughing at us. You get out your gritters and your plows and all your cold weather gear because you live in a cold country. Okay. Like the Russians and the Norwegians, they just get their snow plows out and get that shit out the way. We don't have all that in Britain. We don't waste our money on stuff that we're only going to have if it snows one day a year, which is sometimes do, or not at all. Because that would be a big waste of money. But I think we should have a backup of plows and snow stuff just in case Armageddon hits and we end up with deep snow. Ragnarok, you know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it all. Is it even important? Probably not. Probably not anymore. Is it? I can't get over the size of the buildings in America. I watched I'm going through the old series of Twilight Zone. I watched one last night and they grabbed the time travel version, episode number 25. And this guy, like, he's going to be hanged in the Wild West and instantly disappears and he ends up in New York in the 1950s. And he looks out the window and I couldn't help but imagine, like, from the Wild West, just like, you know, fucking apparently wooden shacks in the saloon, to looking out the window in New York at the thunder of traffic and then massive buildings and all the flashing lights. It must be a massive mind blow if you've never seen a major city before, guys. It must be. What's that copper up to? You should be doing the rounds, collecting all your money off the people that you're bullying. I wonder if there's such thing as a straight copper, or are they all criminal mentality? Is that why they go into the job? I'm sure they're good police out there. They can't all be corrupt and on the take, surely to God. I can't imagine that. There used to be the police service. Now they're the police force to force you. And they don't do anything now, but like subcontract to like bailiffs and shit. Just do that nasty crap, or football matches and crap. They don't actually do stuff. Yeah, criminals must be running riot. Yeah, and the only savior of Great Britain is weed. Weed would save Britain. Yeah, they just legalize it. They're fucking stupid as fuck, and I hate the way that they turn tail. Do you know how many families were ruined, with people imprisoned over marijuana in the past, guys? Yeah, just loads of people who I know, like, literally fucked up lives because of jail, because they got caught with like a quarter back or something stupid. And then nowadays, they got ganja leaves in the chemist's window. The fucking irony of it all. It stinks. You know how much they just turncoat. It's like, oh, it's all good now. Oh, you can all smoke it now. Why? Why? Because it's government strains, all this new weird shit you come out with, and all this new weird strains, all the G13s and the OG and all the rest of it that weren't around when I was young. So fuck with, guys. There's something wrong with you. Better off getting first generation, do yourself if you can, because I tell you what, these government strains are knocking out of the medical. I really do think there's something going on with it. But I do actually feel that ganja, okay, keeps the whatever it is away, okay? Yeah, it keeps your chest good and stuff, because whatever it is, our acclimatization to the new realm, whatever it is. You know, when I say that, you know, I get a weird buzz. Whatever it is, I can't even define it, but I go, it's like on the tip of my tongue. And I wish I could, maybe I don't wish it. Careful what we wish for. I just wish I had a way to elaborate when I'm trying to say what I'm feeling. I can't really do it because it's beyond me. But I know that there will be a time that I will be able to tell you what I'm trying to say. Okay. But I keep thinking that if I say it, it's just going to break the world and everybody, you know, might get killed, something like that. So I'm really careful about like the level of breaking this code, you know. Got to be a bit more careful, me think of, for, you know, the preservation of the good souls left in you. There's not many of us. I wonder how many, really. Most people, you know what they're like. Yeah, they just happy with what they got. They don't want any more, and they don't want anything different. And the whole key to this whole awakening is this: there's more. There's much, much more to this realm, guys. Much more. I'm not just talking about the land. I'm talking about our experience as human beings. much, much more. We are like Superman, Superwomen, fly, psychic, telekinetic powers. Everything that you can imagine a superhero having is what we have when we're ourselves. Do we need to use them? Probably not. Would we have had labor and toil? Probably not. Would we be able to manifest a building? Probably. Probably be able to manifest everything. I'm a creationist, guys. I really do think this entire place was created by the creator, like possibly in an instant, just like the Bible says. I really do think that is the case. I can't, you know, I haven't got even any doubts of this being a creation. The evidence is clear. The geometry is clear, you know, and I know people don't think that, you know, the Fibonacci sequence is enough of a proof for an encoding of an intelligent design, but for me it is. For me, Fibonacci sequence, for me, the evidence of our bodies being encoded and being replicated, buildings being replication of the human body temple, and our body temple being a replication of the greater model of the earth, which we're in now, blows my mind. Blows my mind to think that they do that, and that is us, and that's who we are. Oh my God, how much we have robbed ourselves. No more, no more. So I'll give you this link in the description box, and it gives you a whole wealth of videos to watch of this, which are really pleasant, as you can see, and just something to watch, isn't it? Yeah. So let me come back for a minute because time is getting on, and I need a break from Bunny Jabba Rabbit. It's 960 of you. My God, nearly 1,000 of you. So we got some more stuff to come. Okay. Not quite there yet. We've been going since 8 o'clock. We're coming up to the 3-hour mark, so I'll give it another half hour or so. So, yeah. Enjoying the show so far? I can't really remember. It goes so quick. 3 hours here is like half an hour. So, this week's going to be exciting. Like I said, we got our music competition. I've got a load of videos in. My friend Patrick's little girl, Abigail, God love her. She's a brilliant pianist. When I went to the Czech Republic, I watched her in a piano recital. And, I'm just so good at music and so talented. And I go, you know, I can't do anything like that, me. But yeah, beautiful people. Sent the music. We've got Ritmo in there. He's played us a song. Loads of people have sent me their YouTube videos. I'm going to get who I can in on the Hangout as well. I've asked Ceiling Fan Man, OTW News, Ray Mudflood. I've asked Rich from Magic Treehouse because he's a good musician, and a lot of people who might be able to play or hoping we'll be able to play a live track. The rest will be played on recording, and I'm trying to actually try and pull all this together. It's turning out to be harder than I actually thought, but it's okay. It's good. It's good. I'm doing it because I know it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a really good buzz, guys. Okay. So much love, Dave. Dave's Waffle House. He cranks them out every day. He's my brother, Dave. He does a bit of a waffle. As you know, I was over there a week or two ago, and I dare say I'll pop in again one day soon. Brick truth. We had thunderstorms last night in Toronto. 2 nuts, were they? Right. Toronto's having thunderstorms. If you're in that area, take care. Don't get your dick electrocuted. JT, not that you would, because that would be weird. Rowena, are you lovely? How are you? We haven't seen you for a week or so, basically, because I haven't been here. And did you feel the earthquake in Cardiff last week? No, but my picture's really, really wonky. My bed moved. I did. I said to my son, I asked Lawrence, I thought that my bed had moved. Bang, like moved. And I thought, oh, what's happened is, you know, when you put a bed together and it's in like the holes, I thought I mustn't have been settled all that time and it's just managed to go clunk and get in position. That was the deductive reasoning that I come at because my entire bed moved. It was a fucking earthquake. And I did consider that as well. Wow, Jen. Yeah, that was my first earthquake. So there's Tash and Bex. One day lovely. Honest to God, we had such a good time. They are fantastic ladies and so knowledgeable and truthy. It's really hard for me to find anyone to talk to that doesn't do my head in. Did I say that? Well, it's true. People get on my wick easy, but then guys are just brilliant to be around. Honest to God, so funny. Oh, thank you, lady. You're lovely too. So, Pat, good to see you, lovely. Chip Campbell, who's also a detective, give Martin to funds a like and thingy. Thank you. Very nice. Campbell. Flat Infinite Plane Earth. Still have the greatest name. You have a good name. I like that. It's so truthy. So, Dennis, good to see you. Awesome show. Thank you, Charles. We're not quite there yet. I've got a bit more information to show you. A convention that I'm in. We're going to look at some trippy pictures. Pictures of Delhi at 1860, the Red Castle, etc. But they are quite trippy. And I'll whiz through them. And that'll keep us up to the end of the show. Martin, can you please say a dirty mind is that a joy forever? Yeah. A dirty mind is a joy forever. Did I say something profound then? So that's why I need some psychedelia. I need like vacuum clean my Brian out. Yeah. I need for the next step. I just need that. Excellent show. Thank you, Push. It's got blockage going on there for some reason. Alva Billy get so fucking fan, and I hit this thing where it's just like, they won't give me any more, and I'm so close, and it's like, it's painful, spiritually painful that I can't just get to the rest. But I got to be ready to accept the information. Lisa, I've been impatient as usual. I'm not known for my patience. Kimberly, which I should be, because it's a good trait in a person, like not being late. Hi, Joe. Squirrel Sniper, your manager, moderator, I've made. I think Hippie as well. My manager moderators. I don't know what that actually means. They've introducing all sorts of weird stuff on YouTube just lately. Everything's changing. Sites are changing daily. I can't even recognize what I'm looking at. They add stuff. They take stuff away. They break it. YouTube used to be brilliant in the days of YouTube, YouTube Hangouts. You'd have loads of people. It was really good fun. Thanks, Freya. Dallas Fowler, hiya, matey. I know I got to see an email from you, I think. It's Joe. Thumbs me up. Crypto Gator, Cheech, Colin, Morgan, Pittsburgh Bill, Super Kush, Super Big Kush. I know it's not Super Big Kush, but it sounds better. Bigging you up. Hit the likes. Thank you, Sun, lovely. Brew time. Social Rippers off to make a cup. And look at TV. It watches you. If you've got the blue lights on your TV, there's definitely cameras in them. Martin CRKX channel. I do not watch other channels much. I watch his Campbell's Hangouts occasionally when I got time. But if I was to watch YouTube videos, you lot wouldn't be getting a Flatterday night because I can't do both. Does that make sense? If you've seen how many comments and emails I had a week, you'd understand. It's all my time, guys, just doing the think tank. And I can't sit around. And my relaxation is nothing to do with truth. Okay? So that is music or a bit of Twilight Zones is all I'm going through. I can't stand films. They're shit. Can't find a film to watch. Don't like horror films. It's the last good film I watched. I can't remember. 369, Goose Drank Wine, the monkey chewed tobacco on a creek street, Caroline, the line broke, the monkey got choked, and they all went together in a little row and both clap hands. Stamp your feet. Clapping's weird, isn't it? Why do they clap? Creates a sound, creates a sonic wave outwardly. Some of them could get like really loud. If you clap loud in someone's ear, you burst their eardrum. Did you know that? So, or slap their ear. I got a perforated eardrum, but that was from a baseball bat in the side of my head. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. That's another fucking weird Phoenician thing. That is clapping. I only just thought about that. So let's have a bigger clap. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Okay. And she's really, really thin. It's a long way off being fat. And really, really young. So he's a long way off being fat. So don't even worry about it. It's a long way off. One, good to see you, Max Strum. Whatever's he talking about, don't even worry. Eat all. Mac Daniels, good to see you. So what's that? Morgan, give me a $1. He says, have you sent you a live record but not posted? Have sent you a live not posted. Excuse me. Have us send you a live we record but not posted. Actually, that's really complicated. Just fuck my head up there. I don't actually know. Don't worry. It's getting on. It's getting on. I've been talking forever. William Wallace, Wall Ice. I think there's a clue there. You will never take my freedom. Yeah, it's all shit, that all. The way they said that the old world was set up, you know, with like fucking squire could have your wife on the knife, your wedding night. I can't imagine any bloke putting up with that. And not, or even being bullied by a bunch of sheriffs and shit. Yeah, I think there would have been bad stuff going down. I think they would have blown them up and stuff. Can't see that happening. Just don't make no sense. Nobody ever like, I'm going to kill you for like touching my wife on my wedding night. Makes no sense. No, not buying it. Not buying the whole bullshit narrative. So thank you, whatever that is. Hello, guy. Ariane, good to see you. Juicy Bob, good to see you, my friend. And lovely Rowena. And I love this name. Burn fat till my stomach is flat earth. Just made it 950 views. Okay, let's see if we can get any of you to click that share button and the like button and subscribe to All Things Flat Earth British and all of the other people who are being linked up by Hippie and everybody else in the chat. Tash and Bex and everything else in the chat. And I'll show you what else is going on in the Flat Earth British realm. Jewish Samaritan, much love to you. Shalom, Mitch. Okay. Okay. What's this stuff? Quick flick through the trippy glyphs. So, yeah, cities, they look like tombs from above. For some reason, they look like tombs from above. And they get covered in mud and they rise again from the mud and they get higher and higher and higher because the mud and the people are possibly a lot further down. A lot further down. So sacred geometry is the key to it all. If you get down to it and you see this, the way the fractal nature of this place, you can literally interact with the medium, the fluid medium. Okay. I can change the physiology of my body, guys. No, I can. I can do that. I can change the physiology of my body. That illness, aging, all of that bullshit, I ain't even in it. I ain't even in it. Okay. I'm on the third side of the coin. A whole new way of thinking, a whole new way of being a human being. It's what we're unraveling, yeah. We're going to cure illness, death, poverty, the whole world, and all the bullshit that goes along with it. There's no greater goal, guys. And we're doing that. Everyone's waking up. No one. As soon as everyone can find the courage, yeah, because that's all that we need to do is say no more, isn't it? We do not consent. Go get fucked. It's all over from that moment on. No more opposition, no more borders, no more there's this people, that people, this religion, that religion, and all the things that drive people against one another. People kill one another over a stupid ideal given to them by a cretin. How fucking stupid is that? Well, all that's going to stop. That's why we were put here. We're the indigo children to usher in a new way, new human being that is coming. And there's nothing they can do about it. It was going to happen anyway. They knew. We know that by the last 2 years. Nobody in their wildest dreams would have believed they'd locked the whole of civilization down for, what, best part of 2 years. But I did. Because I fucking knew. And I told everybody, even my friend Mel, what's happening? Well, you'll know next year and you're not going to believe it when it hits. She asked me. And I told her next year. I was walking through my high street thinking, you're all so fucked you don't even know. Months before they locked us everyone down. How did I know? How did I know? How did I include it in my book? How did I know? My psychic? No, I'm a detective. And history repeats itself over and over again. Okay, that's all it is. This is a stage show. This is a play. Shakespeare's plays tell you everything about this reality, and that's why they're there. That's why they're there. So, early Delhi pictures, and this one is weird. It says 13. That's probably the picture number. She looks very Western. So this red fort we've talked about many times in the center of Delhi. Beautiful, beautiful building. So you'd think there'd be a lot more going on in India because, you know, I always think of massive populations and shit tons of people everywhere, but that's not what you're finding for Delhi in the 1870s. Now, I do understand that, you know, the Raj had the uprising, and that looks pretty high, that mud. They had the uprising and you know, killed a couple of million Indians and just blamed the thuggies, but that was the British. That's one thing the British really are good at, is fucking killing everybody. They're a bit like the UN. You know, if there's a war zone and they're like, oh, everything's all right, the UN are going in now. You're like, oh, that means everybody's going to be killed, both sides. It's like, why are they the UN? Yeah, they're the UN. Everybody's going to die. So I've seen this before, this entrance. Beautiful little rounded bits. Different ages of stone. That's definitely not the same age as that one there. And the one on top's again different. And let's have a look. God, it's a bit messed up, isn't it? It's all world there underneath. See, that road there is later. They must have had something more established. And all of this is wrecked outside. Look at that. Wow, that's amazing. Just blocks of brick. Where's the building? And all you got is mud. All the way up to the entrance in the centre of what becomes the capital of India. Oh, what's that up there? Oh, it's just a tower. Something wrong with the symmetry on that as well. It looks really messed up, that fort. Right, this looks like the Taj Mahal. This is one of their beautiful mosque type affairs. Beautiful onion domage. Definitely a technology. I think I put it forwards on a Tartarian channel. I thought the Taj Mahal was a water filtration plant. It's right next to the river. And the towers, you know, could have had sand in them, and they were just pulling it all through and bringing out pure water from the river. My God, the effort in decoration, guys. Absolutely unbelievable. And there's the halls of justice. I wonder what sort of legal system that you had in the old world, because most of the Western world's copied its justice systems. In America and Australia and Britain have all got this courts, juries, and that sort of bullshit going down. I wonder what they do in communist China, for example. Send you off to concentration camp. I wonder what they're doing in them concentration camps. There's lots of them. I wonder. They're not like us, though. All they're doing is actually, like, I know they're forced to and that, but they're trained to just fucking kill us. We don't do that, do we? What are you doing? Oh, I'm fucking training to kill Chinese people because they're doing the same. It just don't happen. It's really weird why they should be so, like, wary. Look at the fucking detail in there. Oh. But they have got strange ways. I love camels. They're lovely. I wonder what that carries. Oh, so that would be made out of an animal's hide in it, or a stomach or something, to carry water in. Carry that round. But that's a studio. That's not even in the street. Come here behind this screen. We're going to take a photograph of you. The kid with the gourd and the guy with the water thing. I bet they charge as well, a couple of rupees for a squirt of water. Don't need shoes. So these people, I'm doubting whether they actually produced this architecture. Hole in the ground there. What if you lifted these slabs up? What would be under there? It's a tomb. That's a tomb. See what I mean? Again, tombs in concrete, just like what they've done with Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey. Marie Curie. Mariah Carey. What is going on with that? Is that a door? No, it's not, is it? It's just concrete. Why would they have that door frame over something that's not a door? Maybe there's heat coming out of there. Oh, they wouldn't do that in India. It's freaking boiling. Oh, what could that be? Hi, Carrington. Love to you and Robbage. That's obviously blitzed. Couple of tiers of God knows what, and this thing in the middle. Not much left of that. Don't even ask what happened to it. The old place looks blitzed, considering it's Delhi. Massive, brilliant buildings, but it all looks messed up, and there's not hardly any population. Right, that's Rome. That's Rome. Oh, look at that thing there. Wow. Again, these things, they look like what you get on them communication towers that are dotted around the place. So the rest of that arch, whatever's going on, is missing, isn't it? Ooh, that looks like Brighton Pavilion. And that was apparently built by, in the Georgian period in Brighton. They got a building that looks exactly like this. The onion dome. I think it's energy gathering capacity. These things here, I posted about them in the past. You can find out about them. They're made of solid iron, and they're all over India. And we have questioned years ago, what could be their purpose? Because they're not lampposts. They're just iron totems with no decoration, just this on the top. Iron. They are iron. So they have to be something to do with, the circuit board city and what these places were before. So that's Delhi. Very enjoyable, I like them. So yeah, stuff going on Flat Earth British. Okay, I've got a convention. I'll put this out until the end of until this time comes. This is in October. It's a long way off. I dare say there's going to be more conventions and stuff. I was going to do one, but after last year, I think I'll just wait. But I'm definitely thinking of having Flat Earth British meets up. I'm thinking of hiring my local pub. It's only like 40 quid, but get that together. I could get it together for the end of the month, invite a load of you, and we're going to have a big Flat Earth British bash. I was thinking of something like that, but that's in the near future. I do not know anyone here except for Gary here, who sent me his books, and I've spoke to on the phone. Brian Garish I've heard of, but I don't know anyone else. I don't know anything about these people. I'm just taking Tartaria to a wider audience. Needs to be done now because the mainstream are trying to grab the narrative. Joe Rogan and his crew and all the rest of them, and Brian fucking Wancock and all the rest of them are trying to just grab this narrative. Yeah, but they're like, oh, nobody knows this. It's like, yeah, we've been talking about it for like over 5 years now. I got Mudflood video 5 years ago. It says Mudflood in the title. So yeah, it's been out a while. So if you didn't know, I've got books. Okay, The Holy Grail of the Great Reset, which released basically just prior to COVID, and there's my first book. You can actually buy the both together. That link is down below in the descriptions box for you to check out all that information, which is fantastic. I really, really want to get my next book down when I got find time, because it just takes too much on. I does the same every frigging year. And my PayPal. You can PayPal me a coffee if you feel that I'm worthy, and that would help me no end as well. Let's get me by to like the end of the month. Right. 864 of you watching. That was fantastic. That was 3 hours. I don't think I'll be stopping for too much longer because I'm like getting proper knackered. Okay, let's have a look at you cats and see who's in the house. Jersey Bob. Digon Ali. Digon Ali. Don't know about that. So, Michelle, good to see you. What's that? Something just come up about China then. See, it's all bullshit. Who even gives a fuck? I can't imagine that Zelensky being a real guy anyway. It's like, how do you get to be a leader of a country? He's a little squirt, isn't he? Guy's probably a puff. He kisses his own muscles. Men don't do that shit. And he's a proper cokehead. I think he got the same dealer as fucking Biden's son. He's like that all the fucking time, messing around with his nose. The guy's on a fucking Charlie. He thinks we're all stupid. So he's going to make irrational decisions, and he's not leading shit. He's as much a leader as the Ukraine, as the Ayatollah Khomeini, who was the leader of Persia, Iran. Yeah. Or can you remember Yasser Arafat? I used to think, yeah, Yasser, PLO man, yeah, a bit of freedom fighting. Turns out he's a fucking Freemason, really fucking dodgy. And then there's news is showing you, oh, look at this poor fucker. He's in this pen with tanks shooting the shit out of him. Poor Yasser fucking Arafat. Guy was one of them. They're all on the same team. Zelensky is a Rockefeller. Why would he be reborn? I don't think so, mate. You know, Rockefeller's got that distinctive look of weird eyes. Zelensky doesn't even look like he's any nationality. He looks like he's a munchkin. Like a munchkin. We represent the terrorist people. You know, he's like a little munchkin. And he's like a psycho. He's proper psycho looking to me. Neil C. So that's bullshit. Okay. And in Britain, we got like another guy. He shit out of nowhere. I don't know if he's a Mandela effect because he wasn't there in the past. But like Biden, never heard of him either. So in the last 2 years, shit people have turned up out of nowhere. So Madonna's been replaced by this Cabbage Patch thing. I can't even look at it. She better fuck off already because that's getting on my nerves. I'm not supposed to swear. And in the last 2, you know, like Epstein. Never fucking heard of him until the internet and all of that. And apparently pencil drawings of fucking that woman, Grislin, whatever her name is, pencil drawings of her in a court makes it real. Or if the newspaper's telling you that he's committed suicide in a jail, makes it a fucking reality. There's no evidence of any of that at all. I'm not saying like heinous shit don't go down and fucking child slaves and all the rest of it don't go down. Obviously out there's really bad things going down on a minute. But I'm saying if it's saying about it in the official narrative, it ain't fucking real. Serial killers. Do you really fucking think people sit there thinking about bumping loads of other fucking people off in their bedrooms? No. I'm not sure if any of they're all dressed in orange for a fucking start off. When you see what was the one that kept eating gays? What was his name? Not Gacy. Him. He was all dressed in orange, and they're always dressed in orange, like Guantanamo Bay. You know, it's like it's all just bullshit. Television is just theatre. It's bullshit. It gives you a narrative. They wouldn't show you anything. I reckon 1% of the news is real. Maybe the cat up a tree or some local happening. You know, but I think it's all bullshit. I really do. Yeah. This week, Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, dies. Front page of the British papers. Evil is dead. It's like, well, he couldn't be that evil if, like, the fucking, you know, he gave the police his address for a start off. That's how he got caught. He's like, you will never catch me. I live at 29 Rowland Place or wherever he lived. So it's like they all visit him. Then you got like the Queen visiting him, fucking Savile. Jimmy Savile, the boxer Frank Bruno, Henry Cooper, another boxer. They got all of these people. They're all in this gang, and they all visit Peter Sutcliffe, who's supposed to be the Yorkshire Ripper. Supposed to be a lorry driver, went off killing loads and loads of people back in the day. A bit like they had loads of them back in the day. You never hear no more about them. The Fox, remember him? No, it's supposed to be a serial killer. Loads of them. So it's all like just based on that Holmes guy out of a fucking, I don't know, out of a novel. I really do feel that it's Lovecraft novel. I just feel like it's that. Don't believe any of it. I really don't. I do not believeth anything they tell us. The stars, all of them, are bullshit. When do you ever see them, talk to them? The elites, where are they? All right, they don't go near our world, but they got to be somewhere, guys. You know, they're bound to go to a city centre. They're going to go shop. Where do they shop? Don't they do anything ever? Don't they go to, like, okay, Monte Carlo, say like, all of the elites go there. So do you see billionaires and all of their security? No, do you fuck, because none of it exists. It's all bullshit. Actors. And we're never going to see Trump, what's his name? Elon Musk. Which one? The baldy one or the other one? Because there's a couple of them. They all look weird. There's as many Elon Musks as there are Charles Mansons. And there's a few of him. There's ones with crosses, ones with swastikas, one with cross the other ways. He's got all different Charles Mansons. It's just bullshit. They've been playing us for a long, long time. You should watch that film Network again, guys, with Oh, fucking, I can't remember his name. That Film Network is brilliant. It's about a network anchor, and he just tells you everything that's going on. Everything's going on with the media. Yeah, just the television is such a bad thing. Michael De Silva. He was a homosexual. Stop telling tales, Michael. It might not be true. Rose, we're just chucking it out there. We can't just be dishing everyone. We can't be dishing anyone, really. We shouldn't be so judgy, especially if it's in the newspapers. Everyone was saying, oh, yeah, Michael Jackson, definitely a kiddie fiddler. Yeah. He had that, he was touching up that Home Alone kid, wasn't he? Macaulay Culkin and stuff. Everyone says, but is that real? Or was it because he said all history's a lie, so they just like defamed him, calling him a pedo and shit? Maybe. Who even knows? Can you snuggle, Gerson? Have you noticed the dots and stuff in the background? It's it's a laser pen thing. I thought it'd add to my background decoration. Shy Sheep, hey, good to see you. Brilliant stream as usual. Good, thank you for that, Dave. And Martin's merchandise, flat thumb t-shirt, stuff like that. You won't see one of them. I had that off my mate Matthew, who had it made special. You will not see a Starfoot Tartarian. Not too many out there anyway. So yeah, I got all like flat thumb shirts, stuff like that. George, me to Bohemian on my father's side. I was in Bohemia last year, and I spoke to my friend tonight who's in Bohemia at this very second. So I could dare say I'll go to the Czech Republic again. I really do love the place, and it's just 10 times better than Britain. It really is. They have less money, and they know how to keep everything clean. That's what I like, cleanness. That's the main thing. I love the cleanness. Britain is absolutely really bogging. All the cities are stinking. It's fucking terrible. And what kind of fucking community, what kind of world puts up with people left out in the cold with nowhere to live anyway? What the fuck, guys? It's just fucking disgusting place. People just put up with that and just live with it. Hi, Dave, my brother. As soon as my stomach. Super fantastic. Great. And look where you would have won. Thank you, Ripper. Ian, Lisa, lovely. And India, happy Flatterday. She's saying to Rose Morley. Pittsburgh, Will. Much love, Pittsburgh, Will. Georgich, Pantson. Good to see you, my friend. And Michael King's in the house. So, yeah, I'm going to be diving off soon. So, do all them groovy things. Support Flat Earth British. Send all the love. Join in with our sing-song. Okay? Videos in, or if you send a recording, or your YouTube link of you, that would be better. Try not to make it too copyrightable. And we will run an event. Possibly Monday, because I'm going to be busy the rest of the week, or Tuesday, the very latest. Keep an eye on my community page. I will keep you updated on Flat Earthers Got Talent. First talent show of its type. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's Matthew there. What are you talking about microdots for, Matthew? Quite. What about me? Oh, newsflower. There's Nora. What's that? He's speaking Gaelic to me, Nora. You're going to have to tell me what that means later. Anyway, is it nice? Is it? Okay. I tell you, I'm smashing it this week, guys. I'm literally smashing it. Flat Earth British, isn't it? Good, isn't it? Wanna TS, good to see you. And LFX. So, yeah, I got a copyright on this channel for 3 months, so I got to be super careful. No swearing, no mention anything dodgy, which I haven't in any way whatsoever. Heidi, a witch from Romania. That's my sister's name, Chit. That's my sister's name, Heidi Liedtke. It's Ray Boston Mudcluds in my emails. I'll be talking to you in a minute. Love Ray Mudflood. He's an awesome person. And all of the gang in America, Stavely, OTW, Z, all the rest. William Lawless for some. George Carlin basically nailed it, but he was an insider as well, wasn't he? They all were. Do you think you got to be famous, have all them albums, all of them tours, by not being one of them? No. I'm sorry. You wouldn't be allowed to say all that. And they want you to give the truth out. The thing is about the elitists, watch Russian vids, he'll tell you, is they want you to know they're not really lying. It's all there. It's just in plain sight, guys. It's there for you to discover yourself. They're not hiding it. It's there in plain sight. So they're not like lying indirectly. They're indirectly lying, yeah. But it's there. For those who have the eyes to see. So Dean, good to see you. Spirit levels. What's that? I always wonder where celebs are. Well, I've seen a few. I've seen Roger Moore once outside a pub in London. I've seen a few minor celebrities, pop stars, things like that. But there's supposed to be loads and loads of them. I'm supposed to have Tom Hardy living local. He's supposed to be moved to Wales. All the Hollywood stars. They're making all the films here in Wales now. It's the new Hollywood. Check it out online. They make more films in Wales than fucking anywhere for some reason. They're going all Hollywoody. Johnny D, good to see you. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I sent you £1. It would let me send more. Fuck them. It wouldn't let you send more. Weird. Oh, thanks for that, Johnny. Heidi Stanton, are you lovely? What's a spell check? Yeah, exactly. Good one. What's a spell check? Nice one. I didn't think of that. First time I've heard that since I've been saying it. Connections. Have a Billy. Okay, I'm going to be diving off soon. So thanks for dropping by, guys, on a Flatterday. That was awesome. Close to 1,000 people, I guess, which is awesome. And the truths we are dropping are getting a lot deeper, aren't they? So, death is the narrative that is not supported by the evidence. There should be thousands of funerals, and we should be witnessing dozens each day. Are we seeing dozens of funerals each day? Is anyone seeing any funerals? I put it to you, Leon, not, is what I put it to you. White noise was a spell check. Yeah. So, Dirk Dillery, good to see you. Thank you for popping by, everybody. Keep that vibration high. Okay. Make sure to keep them expert, non-give-a-fuck vibrations high. So JT555 sub, 666 likes. No shit, honestly. Oh, it's just going up. All right. So make sure to like this video. Make sure to support, love, and give all of the other people in the community if they need any support and love too. You're going to see them flying around in all of the other chats, Campbell's and all the other guys. Okay, guys? Support one another. Be there for one another because we're all souls. And apparently there's not that many in you. We're all gravitating together because we recognize one another. Is the score, guys, okay? This is a divine happening and meant to be. That's why there's so much recognition, so many resonations, so many mind-blowing things happening. It's because of that. Okay, God, whatever you want to call it, is driving us straight to one another, guys. All of us. For that reason. Because we're all awake. Which is fucking brilliant. So thanks, Panson. Okay. Much love to you all. Stay epic. That's my final thoughts of the night. And I will be back in a day or two. I'm going to organise now through tomorrow and wrangle a load of people for the Flat Earth's Got Talent. But I'm going to need to do that probably on a Tartarian channel. See how it goes. Okay, guys? See how that goes. And just share it out far and wide. I'll get a big crowd over. What's that? Zelensky's got a lovely little mansion in Israel. Yeah, they say that, Voice Master. We can't really substantiate any of that is real. I like words on computers don't make real worlds anyway. I read loads of shit every day and I'm like, well, it's just words. Just words. Don't make it real. Oh, you make me laugh so much. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Okay. I'm fun. When I hang around with people, actual people, like I did with Tash and Bex this week, that's a brilliant laugh. It's fucking brilliant. I love having cool people around. So, nice, Joe. Love Joe Clifford. She's lovely. So, there you are. Rose. There's Rose. I love to listen to Martin. Yeah, it's got that Welsh musical voice in it. I know some of you like that Welsh. Now, some of you don't like it at all. That's just tough shit. Adam, my brother. He's an actor. Okay, yeah, they're all fuckos. We know this, Adam. Good to see you, my brother. Much love to you. I'm there. And Hippie Shake, who says Batman coffee. Love Hippie Shake, so do that. She's an awesome lady. She does so much for truth in the community. Look at India, what India does for everyone. She does it for fuck all. She does it just for the love of the community. And she just supports everyone. And there's loads of you that do shit like that. Loads of you for fuck all, just for the love of the community. And you just give it up all. So that's just brilliant. So thank you for that. You good people. So, summertime, yeah, summer's on the way. Let's get this cold weather out of the way, and we'll get organised loads of cool stuff, okay, for the gang. Loads of meets in Britain. Hopefully, get one over together in America. I would like that. I would love to meet all the gang, Steve, all the rest of you over there. I would love that more than anything. That would be fantastic. Because you lot over there are like our extended. We're the same in Britain as you are over there. The truth is, it's just an extended family. We're the same sort of people. We even look the same. It's really weird. It's not really. So there you are. martinliedtke7gmail.com if you want to make an entry into the singing competition. Okay. No paintings next time. Okay. They're very nice and lovely though, but paintings and poems next time. Okay. We won't have time. It's a sing song. Okay. So hopefully that'll all go down well. I'll make it happen with a bit of Martin magic. Okay. So martinliedtke7@gmail.com. There you are. So I'll get my comments back. There you are. So thanks, Mark, for being a channel member. I talk funny. That's Welsh, isn't it? It's all right. Could be worse. Blessed love and no disrespect to the Murphys. Well, I've got 3 nephews that are called Murphy. So 2 nephews that are called Murphy. My sister's boys are Murphys. Got them. My wife was Irish, which was live, and son's half Irish. And my dear friend is Irish, and a lot of my life is Irish. So don't even worry about it. Filthy rags. We're all Celts. And I love them. I love them. I love them. I don't even give a shit where anyone's from. I fucking love them all. Having said that, though, I did have a little moment about China. What? Anyway, Twice Born. Good to see you. I only had a little moan. There's no horribleness in it. I don't believe the Sky Daddy. I believe in the eternal spirit. Yeah, I don't believe in the Sky Daddy. Not like they say. Okay, but I do. I'm a bit of a. I not do religion, but I'm definitely a bit of a prayer. I do my own version of spirituality. Same practice I've been doing on my life, probably lifetimes. FB Idol, the next big thing. Oh, I didn't think of that. See, I thought Got Talent. It's got catchy. It's kind of catchy. No one's ever thought of it before. Fuck it. Don't even worry. Okay. Spirit levels. Something Wong. 2 Wongs don't make a white. Okay. Alva Billy. Rosemary. Okay. Love you a long time. Sorry. Normal life. Good to see you, Bernadette Morris. Bad man. Dark matter and battle rap. Okay. Dark don't matter. Dark matter is not a real thing, I don't think. Or antimatter or space in anything to do with space is not a real thing. Tim Dale, good to see you, my friend. And it's good. Thank you for your lovely comments. Okay. Talk funny. You should cheer us in New Zealand. No, I like the New Zealanders. Australians and that sound schmecksy, some of them. Okay. April, good to see you. Fat thumbs to you, April. And I can't say your name, love. I can't say your name. How the fuck am I supposed to say that? All the fucking England. I can't do it. What's happening, Lee? What on? Not seen you for a long time. And Cynthia Bancroft. Any relation to the obvious actor? I doubt it. what was her name? Bancroft. And Bancroft. JJ, much love to you and your sons. Summer's coming. We're going to have a fantastic time. Somewhere in time. Somewhere in time. Someone will write a song about that. Okay, I got to go. I'm hungry. Need a munch. Okay, Pamela, good to see you. Okay, I'm going. Stay fantastic. That's the end of my Flat Earth British vlog for tonight. Thumbs up, all them good things. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I'll be back very soon for Flat Earth's Got Talent. Bye.